the tune of OPP. Minority by nature, no time for idle chitter chat and petty iterations. Teaming to me exponentially like I'm Barack's inauguration. Erratic calculations, nah, I runs the infinite. Only way I slow me down is with some calcing by a limit. They might no longer show the work, the answer self-evident. Some truth should be proclaimed in a Declaration of Independence. Things not instantaneous can be approximated by adding up our changes till everything integrated. Word to my partners in calculus. Yo, you down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. Integral, grind exponential. You down with BCP? That's the way we rotate radiannually. You down with BCP? Down with BCP? You down with BCP? You down with BCP? That's the way we do things limitlessly. Yeah.
Who's gonna start dancing first?
I was going to do it, man. I was going to fill in for Shorty, but I can't dance that bad, so we have to skip it.
Where did that cigarette come from? Did you just spawn that cigarette?
Absolutely, man. I roll them out of my hand.
Just snap. There it is. Unbelievable.
There you go. Peach got it. Hello, Heidi. Hello.
Good evening, chat.
I just saw Heidi's thing, and I had to go, hello. This is
good to see everyone. Let me get to the chat real quick. J2K, Heidi. Immortal, Minister Charles, Victoria,
Johnson,
Patty L, Bob Swede, Roberto Hernandez, Cliff, Creighton Wilfong. Am I missing someone?
Yeah, I would love to give a special shout out to Immortal. That is the Nodge. We don't know who the Nodge is, okay?
Yes, we do.
I thought I knew who the Nodge was, but let me talk to you about this guy real quick. Any video that I find myself in on my channel, BCP, Bearski, Adam Mason, Nodge is continuously reminding me that the Michigan Wolverines will be playing his Washington Huskies on October, 18th? Yeah. First chat today, October 18th. He just won't let me forget. Mind you, he's talking about his team that got crushed by my team in the 2023 National Championship game. I just don't understand it. But Naj, I hope you're doing well, buddy. See, I just don't understand. It's like clockwork.
He brings it right up. October 18th, Karl. October 18th.
Maybe he's got an AI chatbot.
Hey, we'll bring it up again next week and probably 2 or 3 more times tonight just for the hell of it. It's going to be a thing.
Oh, it's multiple times a week, Foster.
From now
anytime I look at my YouTube
October,
notifications. Dude. Yeah.
All right.
We might have to go or something. I don't know.
Mr. Mayhem. Amphibious. I want to make sure I get everybody that's been here so far.
Patty Lara.
Prometheus. Patty Lara. Yeah, I think I got everyone. Thanks you guys for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Shorty had to take care of something, so he might or might not join us tonight.
Trending towards no, and that's quite all right. In my opinion, it's a good reason, but
it's a good reason.
Never good that he's not here, right?
I want to tell you this, guys, right now, and Shorty, I hope you don't get mad at me, but if he joins us, he's going to be a little tipsy because he might be having a few drinks with one of the big shots. So just expect it, man. You catch him on that right phase, man.
Now, I have firsthand experience. Shorty can handle a few beers. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He thinks he can.
Yeah, how was that?
True.
He for those of you, he used to drink like 4 cases and still drive.
For those of you who knew about them, the fellas meeting up for what's that? Johnny's. What's
we met up at Johnny's Beef in Elmwood.
Yeah, Park, I always say something scandalous, PJ, but it is Johnny's Beef.
Okay, what's up, Romy? How was that last week?
That was fun, man. We were, you know what? When we were sitting there, we were going, damn it, too bad PJ wasn't here. We were like, we probably brought it up 3 or 4 times. We wish PJ would have been here.
Yeah,
we sat around and did and said the dumb things that men do. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, man. We stuffed some beefs into our face and a bunch of French fries and a drink, and then we went to the bar for a few hours.
Why are you stuffing beef in your face? Pause.
That's what she said.
Should have heard what we said on Bearski Film yesterday. There was a little bit more than just eating a beef sandwich, but Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic time. Foster, like you said, backstage, it was very nice to meet you. Dan, Paul was there, David was there. It was a great time. So,
Yeah.
PJ, I wish you were there. And like I said, next time, hopefully.
Well, I figured out, PJ. I told these guys, I said, that's it, man. I said, by this time next year, I'm going to just go buy a place in Peoria. Because there's no way you can't not make it. Somewhere down there. I should have said that, but somewhere down there.
Be better off meeting me and Dwight.
Oh, Dwight. That's where the woman's prison was. Don't ask me how I know that.
That's the most random.
We already know, Foster.
I said, don't ask me how I know that.
I think we already know, Foster.
All right.
Janitor. Foster
Yeah,
was good at mopping.
Just visit.
Mustache rides.
Get your mustache right here. Get your mustache right.
All the way from Cheeseland, Wisconsin.
What's up, Armando Lara Jr.?
Armando. Romy in the house.
Chat the chat.
And Minister Charles. Hopefully,
Yeah.
the surgery went well. Oh, it's tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow morning. Okay.
Right.
Well,
J2
thoughts and prayers are with you, bro.
Absolutely. J2K got it right. He goes, J2K, when I was talking about Dwight, he goes, media relations, the same as BCP. I don't know what's about media, but we'll take it. We'll let it fly. He'll slide on by.
Chad Speaker.
Chad.
Good to see
Speaker.
you.
I can't do
So what's new in the Bears world, fellas?
Say that again?
What's new in the Bears world?
That's what I thought you said.
Well, not much, PJ, right? I mean, this is the true beginning of the dead period. I don't think there's anything else now until training camp starts. There were some NFL moves, but specific to the Bears, I mean, I thought that they maybe acquired some UDFA tight end or something of that nature, but just really nothing too measurable. Like, kind of sucks.
I have very little intel on anything this week just because I've been wrapped up in my own, ending my own burden, getting rid of that burden. So I have not seen too much or even paid attention to it this whole week, honestly.
Now I heard that, and this is the way it was. This is the way it was worded too. I heard that Tyler Scott and Grady Jarrett got married this week.
To each other?
Yes, Foster, yes. I'll get some proof out there for you guys. That is true, PJ. That is true.
That's how I heard it. I was like, huh? I was like,
now hold on a second.
Well,
do we want to get into the weeds really quick?
If we
this
we
is
got
fun.
Bob Swede. We can talk about weeds.
This could be a lot of fun. Okay, let me see if this will actually fix this.
Okay.
I definitely want to meet that though. Let's judge Luther Burden's health off of this clip of him at a baseball game. How's that hamstring looking, boys?
Watch him go down on the mound.
Uh-oh. That leg, there was no leg kick there, was there?
No leg kick on that.
well, he throws a sidearm too.
I mean, we'll watch it one more time. I'm sure the video's already demonetized, but watch how it just comes off his hand. Yeah?
See what I mean? He's throwing it sideways.
Yeah. I don't know. Is
It's-
Luther Burden
it's a
fully
sidearm,
healthy, good to
okay.
go? Is there a camp controversy brewing, boys?
Does he remind you of Kent Tekulve, PJ? Remember him? I don't know
What's
if you
his
follow
name?
baseball. Kent Tekulve. He was like the original side armor with the Pirates in the 70s into the early 80s.
Yeah, you know me in baseball, bro.
Okay. I just didn't know.
It's America's pastime, not mine.
Unbelievable. PJ, I do
Today
share that
is-
sentiment with you.
Today is Juneteenth,
Yes.
so
Yes.
shout out for celebrating Juneteenth.
That is for all Americans.
Correct.
It's not an inclusive holiday. Some people keep saying that, and I'm like, no, it's not, because it was finally the real breakthrough when they were finally told the truth, and they were freed in Texas. So that's an American holiday.
Galveston, if I remember correctly.
What's that?
I think it was Galveston, Texas.
Yes. Huh,
it's a holiday much like St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
I'll put those all in pretty much the same category, as well as 4th of July.
See, they didn't marry each other. They both look good with their bride.
Can we zoom that in?
That's what I was thinking. The same thing, Peach, but I didn't want to say it because it was me.
Man, he got a nice looking wife.
Oh, come on.
Jeez, he got a nice looking wife. Congratulations there, Grady. Man, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I didn't see Tyler's wife. Can you go back to Tyler's wife?
I was too busy getting this one zoomed in for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he got a nice looking wife.
yeah.
That's a beautiful gown too, man.
Hey, she's easy on the eyes. You know what I'm saying? She's easy.
No lies detected.
She's easy on the eyes.
Now, while we're talking about Tyler Scott's wife, I would love to hear your thoughts, the chat's thoughts on Tyler Scott potentially making this roster, because I've got that a lot closer to 0 than you guys might think.
They look like a good match. She looked like she's small and petite. Yeah, they look like they're a really good match there.
You could tell he's very proud.
Yeah.
As he should be.
And
he seems like a real wholesome guy. You know what I mean? Just like a good neighbor, guy next door type vibe. I get.
Yeah. Have you seen him on with Rank? Because he used to be on with Rank every week.
Yeah.
That's how I've gotten my impression on him, is by watching him talk on that and his actions and reactions on that show. So
now, would it be fair to say that calm and general nice demeanor is the reason why he's essentially striking out as a football player?
I would disagree. I think the biggest hurdle for him, in my opinion, is he played running back in college, if I'm not mistaken. I think the last year he played wide receiver. So he's really relatively new to being a wide receiver. So, and I was thinking about this the other day, as a matter of fact. I'm like, the possible route for him to go, not this year per se, but maybe next year, when Swift money is guaranteed money is ran out, and we don't have to pay him that $8 million, we can release him, and possibly Scott can be our speed running back between him and Ian Wheeler.
Ooh.
Where do you feel that, in the sense that he's so minuscule, he's so thin? I feel like if he was to be given 10 touches in one football game as far as a running back, he probably wouldn't be able to recover. I just don't think he has it in him.
Well, that's what I say. I mean, I think he's more of an option. He's not an every down guy. He's like a special package sort of dude, where you give him maybe 6 carries a game, something like that.
Can we talk about Vales Jones like this?
I'm wondering if he married her for her hands. They're going to do a surgery. He's going to get bigger hand from his wife.
Well, you're probably spot on there, Foster.
Creighton brought it up, and then I put 2 and 2 together, and I went, oh. I mean, I just got out of my coffin. I could do a quick surgery, and by next year, man, them things will be good to go.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Somebody wanted you to zoom in on her hands to verify that we're
sure.
Joking around.
I tell you, I think I really like him. I like him, and I wish him well. I mean, I have no clue on whether or not he's making a team this year. I mean, he got stiff competition, and it's gonna be tough for him.
Sorry. The way you said it, I don't know. Yeah. Nobody's around either, huh? Okay.
Wow. Gee whiz. Yeah, she does have some pretty big hands there. They taking turns working on a jugs machine.
She's got a future. She's got a future in the NFL. If Tyler Scott can, so can she.
As far as when you were asking about Scott, I mean, look at it. It's going to be hard for him to get on the field because nobody's saying anything about Olamides, and he's the guy we signed from Washington that used to be on the.
Oh, they said something about him in training camp.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about him in training camp because the guy's amazing, man. The big thing they were talking about him, I'm talking about his punt kickoff return because he would stand backwards to the ball and wait and turn around and then find it, making it very difficult. Try it sometimes. That's pretty difficult, even especially on a punt. We used to do it messing around when we were practicing that, going way back. Forgot all about it until they started talking about it. But as far as getting that slot position, I mean, you got 3 guys lined up for it right off the bat right now. Burden, Zacchaeus, and Scott. And DJ and Rome can play there anytime if need. You know what I mean? They can play anywhere, I think.
That leads me to believe that there's no need to hold on to a Tyler Scott if he has no special teams value, which admittedly he tried to garner more of that value. He was a gunner against the Packers in Week 18. He did okay. And we retained that special teams coach. So maybe he is going to have a shot. But I honestly think that it's the top 4 wide receivers and everyone else. So
these guys they got it out for me again tonight. Foster wore leather helmets. Said, Foster, you're sold. You used live pigs as the ball.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Let me tell you, they hurt when you caught it by the snout.
Man. Yeah, I think he needs to gain some weight. I know that he needs to gain some weight, be it for receiver or if he's trying to do something else. I mean, he needs some weight.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy from Philadelphia, if he can hang around in the NFL and be a legitimately good player, I think his name is Devontae Smith, the guy who caught the kill shot against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. If he can play football, anyone can. I don't know if Tyler Scott needs the weight.
He has a different type of speed, though.
Yeah, exactly. So
Tyler
Scott should have that.
He doesn't. He doesn't have that speed like Smith does, like the guy from Kansas City, the 40-yard dash record holder there.
Xavier Worthy.
They can be skinny because of their speed. Because, although Scott is fast, he's not that fast because he wasn't faster than Bayless Jones. Bayless Jones was our true speedster.
Yeah, and what did that accomplish?
I'm just saying, though. I mean, as far as the speed part, I mean, I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Tyler Scott like a 4.41 guy, something like that?
I don't even remember.
I mean, it's not slow by any means, but he's not that Worthy fast.
Well, that's what they talked about when they drafted him. We want that speed that he's capable of delivering. But time will tell. Time will shake this all out.
4.44. Okay. Yeah. See, 4.44. Justin Fields, if I'm not mistaken, I think he did a 4.4. So he was faster than what. Okay. Quentin Wilfong says 4.35. Okay. Right. But I know Justin ran a 4.4.
J2K is saying his pro day was a 4.39, but that was the pro day, not the.
Okay. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, so, because Bayless was a 4.31 guy, I believe. That's a different kind of speed.
Yeah,
so
it's moving,
yeah. So that's what I say. In my opinion, he needs to have more weight on him.
That's faster than the first Model T I built.
So Tyler Scott ran a 40-yard dash in 4.44 seconds at the NFL Combine, and it was reported that he ran a 4.39 at his pro day. So again, we're nowhere near the 4.2s of the world.
Now, what is Dante Smith, the one you had mentioned? What was his 40?
I'm sorry?
Did you say
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, okay.
You're not going to like this answer. 4.46.
Wow.
So the problem here, and this is kind of what I was thinking of, he's fast because he knows what he's doing and is good at doing it as it pertains to running a route. So if you know what you're doing and you've got the speed to kind of marry that, jokes aside, that's where he becomes fast. He's fast in game, right? Like Jerry Rice. Everyone wants to point out, oh, Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest. On the football field, he was. So,
very true.
With Tyler Scott, if he could learn how to run routes properly and combine that with the adequate speed he has, that was the big thing with Ryan Poles. He always pointed out how Tyler Scott had the unique ability to speed up while the ball was in the air, because it felt like, at least at Cincinnati, he was able to get to his spot and know where the ball was going to end up. But for whatever reason, it's just not working in the NFL. And I don't know why.
Now, in all honesty, I haven't paid enough attention to Tyler Scott, full disclosure. But I wonder when he's doing his routes, or is he rounding off his routes? Because I remember Kevin White, as fast as he was, he would round off his routes to where instead of making sharp cuts to really get the separation, because that's how you get your separation, by making a sharp cut. You kind of round it off, and that allows the defensive player to close in on you because you're not getting separation. So I'm wondering, is that part of his issue, being Tyler Scott? I don't know.
Here's one thing, and I haven't said anything about this. I should have. I mean, my cousin brought this up to me a long time ago, and it's the game speed that you see. He goes, I don't want to see these guys do a 40-yard dash in shorts and a t-shirt. Put the pads on them and let me see how fast they are in the equipment. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there because I get it. I understand it. For some people, it's easier to maneuver with the equipment than others. It changes and diminishes their game. I've seen it. I've seen it on my own teams when I play.
Yeah, it's
them. I'm just,
it's tough, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think, certain people can test well in shorts and t-shirts, but then there's certain guys like Dick Buckus. He was just a football player. I mean, I don't know how fast he really was, but man, you don't want to be looking at him with the ball in your hand. That's all I can say.
Creighton Wilfong with another banger, Foster. Oh, there you go.
Lack of a helmet can affect me greatly. Foster, to be fair, you played with absolutely, man. That's what do you think this game came from?
Melon Smasher is predicting that Swift will catch more passes than Loveland and Burton. Swift in 5 seasons has caught 237 passes, which roughly averages to 48. Nope. Yeah, 48.
Well, 250 divided by 5 would be 50.
Right. Minus
So
13
divided by 5. We're talking about 45 odd catches a year.
Wait a minute. You said 240, right?
250. 250 divided by 5 is 50.
50.
Oh, okay.
So 237 is 13 away from that.
And
13
really
divided by 5 is
you're looking at 47, 46, 48 catches a year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just when I made the thumbnail and the video and everything today, I was just looking at pictures, and I thought that the picture of Kyle Monangai looked cool. I mean, if we truly are relying on DeAndre Swift to be the number 1 back for the Chicago Bears this year, I have serious question marks. Kyle Monangai can earn the starting job and be a very good player out of, comparatively with a 7th round pick. That would be a big boost. That would go a long way, in my opinion.
What is Monangai's measurables? He's like 5'8".
I can get the
Five,
beast pulled up. I don't know if I
five
still
eight,
have it.
5'8", 209, something in that range.
Okay.
I,
So
I
he's not.
laugh at that because I've been close to that myself. I'm 5'8". I've been 200 pounds, man, and it's hard. It was hard on me when I was 200 pounds, man. I'll just say that.
Kyle Monangai appears to be 5'8" and 2/10 or 2/12. I don't know what that is.
That's not. That's not.
211 pounds.
It's not extremely short.
No, I mean the height of a
That's my
running back
height,
necessarily doesn't matter in my opinion. It's more the play
Right.
style. But if he's diminutive, it is what it is. Don't matter.
Hey,
And he's 4.6 40.
Yeah, that 40 yard. No, well, yeah. I can't see it, but it's a 4.8. No, it's a 4.6. It's got to be 4.6.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I'm expecting to see more of him and Roshan
Yeah,
than we have in
4.6
the
flat.
past. And I don't know how many games I sat there and said at the beginning of our first offensive series, going, okay, we're going to run Swift left, right, and nothing's going to happen. And it did too many times. It did too many times because like they knew it was coming. Every time we did it early in games, it seemed like they knew exactly what we were doing. I mean, actually, Swift did really good, in my opinion, fighting for yards, especially later in the season, because it seemed when he was in the backfield and we were going to run, they knew it. They knew it a lot. I mean, just the way I saw it, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong. We didn't have. It was like before, man, with Monty and Herbert, where Monty was bashing early, and then you throw in Herbert for the change of pace. I think we need to get back to more of that. And to do that, you'd have to run Roshan or Monangai.
Because you don't want Swift as a change of pace back.
Well, I mean, look how effective Herbert was when he was doing that, and then look what happened when he was like a feature back.
But yeah, the
Numbers
problem with
way
Herbert and why he's bounced around the NFL from Cincinnati to now the Colts, he didn't have much ability in the pass game, in my opinion, whether it be catching the pass or defending against it. I guess he was okay. I don't know. But the point stands is that I think that DeAndre Swift could be the perfect change of pace back in the NFL. He'd be great. And that's what I really wanted the Bears to do. I don't think they've done that. I think that they have to rely on Swift because the guys in front of him are, projected who would be in front of him in that scenario, whether it's Roshan, Kyle Monangai, Deion Hankins. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, these guys are Jags. Like, we needed better, in my opinion, and we just have not acquired that.
I don't know. I think that the issue with Swift is, from what I saw last year, seemed like he didn't go to the designated hole. He would try to bounce things out, and that's something you see. And please don't misinterpret what I'm saying, gentlemen, ladies. When I seen youth football, that's a common trend in youth football.
Yeah.
Young players always want to bounce everything to the outside. They don't want to go up the gut. They don't want to go between the tackles. They want to try to bounce anything. And that's what I've seen. Like, that's what Swift was doing a lot of. Plank, what's up?
Mr. Plank, God bless you. Thank you, buddy. I know,
Plankster.
isn't Plank normally not able to watch us for his work schedule or
Yes.
something of that nature?
Yes.
This is a special moment.
It's a treat.
Thank you, Plank.
Appreciate you, Plank.
He's been
Hit send
alive,
too soon.
and he's been a member for 6 months.
He just subscribed for 6 months, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's like a re-up. So each
Yeah.
time you resubscribe, you get the notification and you can share it at your leisure.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Plank.
Appreciate you, Plank. So yeah, I mean, so I think that's what part of Swiss problem is. And somebody pointed this out to me the other day. I forgot who it was. They said, for as much as we talk about Swift and his impressive yardage with Philadelphia right before he became here, right before we signed him, the issue is he was playing behind the best line in football, and so how much can you judge him by?
Yeah.
When he was playing in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
and you see what Barkley did when he got behind that same line.
That's been my argument since day one, PJ. What you had Swift and the best center in football, and you got blown out in Tampa Bay in the playoffs in the wild card round. Then you lose the best center in football, replace him with a second-round pick who admittedly is good. He's paid very highly. But you also upgraded the running back position, and all that equated to is a Super Bowl victory. So whichever way you slice it, I don't care if there's only a couple guys that are in the Saquon Barkley stratosphere, right? You don't get a lot of those guys. But the Eagles traded draft capital for DeAndre Swift and were very quick to move off of him. I believe that DeAndre Swift was the first player signed in the entire free agency period that year. So the Bears had a feeler out for Saquon Barkley, which this is corroborated by Jared Payton. He said, yeah, the Bears wanted Saquon Barkley, but they just couldn't afford it financially. So in that legal tampering period, they said, okay, well, screw it, we're out. They went for the Jag. They got him, and the best general manager in football was very okay with that. Howie Roseman, yep, totally fine. Go ahead. You can have him. We're going to get our guy. What happened?
Man. I tell you what, as much as I question Philadelphia's head coach, their GM is just knocking it out the park. That guy is just, man.
Yeah. Top to bottom.
Right. He is making Philadelphia truly relevant. I mean, I don't have much faith in their head coach. I mean, I really don't see what he brings. I'm not saying he doesn't. I don't see it. But, oh, my goodness, for them to be in the Super Bowl as much as they are and the things they're doing, man. I mean, even the fact that he'll throw away a fourth-round draft pick just to get his guy, because you can't tell me him moving up one spot with the Bears to get Jalen Carter, because the Bears wasn't going to draft him anyway. So, but he's still willing to give up a fourth rounder just to move up that one spot. And
I think that was all a testament to the right-hand man of Poles, Ian Cunningham, right? He came from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think Howie Roseman in another universe could have just said, you know what, screw you. I know you're too scared to take him. So
he did he threw him a bone, Peach. Threw him a bone,
I'm
man.
telling you.
Stuff like that is important. That's how you build rapport in the back-end channels between general managers and franchises where it matters, right? Who cares what you think publicly? If the Eagles ever wanted to make a move where they have to leapfrog the Bears, and Ian Cunningham is still there, you're almost at a point where you might have to do it just because you owe the guy, which that's sad to say.
Well, the old scratch my back, I'll scratch yours thing can make a difference, especially in this game, in this age today, with what you need to accomplish. Yeah, they're killing it, man. It's just they keep drafting. How many guys do they got from Georgia now?
Georgia North.
Five in that Super Bowl season, the one they just won, right? So,
and I remember when Nolan Smith was coming out. He was my favorite edge rusher in the draft. I just thought he was too light for what the Bears played as far as the defense. He's not a defensive end. He's an outside linebacker.
Right.
Oh my goodness! I thought he was going to be a player, and he showed that to be true underneath one of my favorite defensive coordinators,
Big Vic
Fangio. Yes, thank you.
The gangster.
That we were talking about that last night. I was on a show last night, and we were talking about Vic Fangio a lot. Because what a difference that man makes wherever he goes defensively.
Now to Chad Speaker's point, now in the draft that Smith came out, Nolan Smith, he was my favorite in that draft. Last year, Verse was my favorite coming out of that year. So yes, man.
Me too. We both wanted Verse last year, Pete. I just remember going, man, if we could get him.
Yes. Now this year, my favorite edge rusher coming out, and I didn't do much looking, but from what I could tell, I would say Mikael Williams. Is that his name from Georgia?
I think so.
I think he would probably be. I would probably classify him as my favorite. I don't know how well he's going to do, but just being full disclosure. I mean, it was Smith, then Verse, now I guess McHale. Although since Cincinnati not signing Stewart, I'm looking at him. Although he only got 1.5 sacks per year for 3 years straight.
I wonder if this is why Melon Smasher is such a... He always tries to get a rise out of everyone in the chats. Is he an Ohio State fan? Melon Smasher, is that what's going on here? Because that would unlock a lot of this puzzle regarding your comments in chat for me, but I'll digress on that.
JT. Where did he go, JT? Or is he still in college?
No, he's not. I don't know where JTT went. I can tell you Jack Sawyer and his, unfortunately, national championship winning quarterback, I forgot the guy's name, they both ended up on Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll look up where JTT went. I have no idea.
Just curious, guys. What do you guys think of Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh? How do you think that's going to play out this year? I'm just want to know what your guys' opinion are.
I think that it has the propensity to give that amazing head coach his first ever losing season. I think it could be that big of a catastrophe and quite simply that bad.
I agree, man. I was going to just say I can't. I just have a hard time because Rodgers is such. He's not doesn't follow orders and directions. I might be saying it wrong, but you get the gist of what I'm saying, and that's just something that doesn't happen in Pittsburgh. That's why they have winning seasons every year because there's order and discipline on that team, and when there's not, they get rid of somebody. They sure, look at all the guys that they've traded away or released. They knew exactly what they were doing with these guys, man. What's his name to the Bears? What was the last one? Who did they just Pickens? I mean, just what there's a reason.
Talk about lateral moves
for what they do. There's a reason for it. It's not just. There's a reason for the moves they make. I don't know. This is either gonna be like you said, Karl. It's gonna bomb, or they could go deep. And that's only if Aaron Rodgers is willing to not be the Aaron Rodgers that we all know and hate.
I mean, that supporting cast is nothing that's going to help elevate them, right? Like, I think that they had to settle and they were pigeonholed into taking Caleb Johnson in like the 3rd round. So the running back room arguably got worse, and I don't think that much of what's his name who went to the Chargers, Najee Harris. Almost said Kamala. Yeah. And then again, talk about lateral moves. Fields to Rodgers, say what you want, whatever. That doesn't move the needle for me. And then you got rid of George Pickens, and you think that DK Metcalf is that big of an upgrade? I don't know about that. Like, it's just, I would not be happy if I was a Steelers fan, especially in that division.
Yeah, seems like they don't have enough weapons.
Melon Smasher says the Steelers will win 10 games and lose in the first round of the playoffs. It's like
that's prophecy. I mean, that literally has happened for the last 5 years. Do you guys remember when Ben Roethlisberger in like his second to last or last year, team started out 10-0, 11-1, and you lose 6 straight? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And they just did it again this year. Like, I don't know, man. You can't say the Steelers are a bad franchise. They're clearly not.
Melon Smasher's got he's got their draft picks down there, and they did good in the draft, in my opinion. So they drafted Caleb Johnson, Derek Harmon, Jack Sawyer.
Yeah. Derek Harmon, coached by Mel Tucker. So whatever, man. That doesn't move the needle for me whatsoever. Jack Sawyer, I'll let PJ speak on what his valuable asset to have as a defensive lineman, but honestly, PJ, let's hear it. If you've got a tiny ass, like just nothing back there, a small ass, are you going to be able to do anything as defensive lineman in the NFL?
If you're an in and you can use your speed, that's about it.
I'll promise you, he's not a speed rusher.
Well, that's about it. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, there's so much, I guess, intricacies with the interior defensive linemen that it's a lot of hand fighting because there's, like they say, there's holding every play. So you got to have functional strength, grip strength. You got to have all these things when you inside of that box. And a light guy. If they can't put their hands on you, I guess that you can use that to your advantage. But if they get their hands on you, that's why I'm surprised that the guy out of that's who is it, Pittsburgh, I think, and now he's in Tampa Bay. Councey, is that his name?
Elijah can't. No. Oh my God. He was drafted to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's an interior defensive lineman.
Yeah, real small.
Maybe it's Elijah Cansey.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
He's like really small, like 6 foot, 6 feet.
Now, I like this player.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he has long arms or something like that. But yeah, it's so hard to be small and be an interior guy. I mean, my guy, man, why am I blanking on names today? The guy for the Rams, just retired.
Aaron Donald.
Thank you. Jeez, man, I'm losing it today. I loved him, but he was undersized as well.
Yeah,
but
Elijah Cansey, PJ, is 6'1", and he has 30
allegedly.
and 5/8 inch arms.
So he has shorter arms. Wow.
But he runs a 40-yard dash in 4.67 seconds.
But I'm told he
is about 280 pounds.
Yeah, 280. And they said he had a good rookie season last year. I don't know. I haven't looked none of this up, but I thought.
I mean, when you're playing right next to Vita Vea, it's probably hard to have a bad season. But Elijah Cansey was a guy who I believe was classified as like a bowling ball with knives. Right, second time I ever heard that after Aaron Donald. So I really like the player. I can't remember if I wanted him on the Bears. I'm sure in the moment it would have been a reach, whatever the case is. But you know how it goes.
We got about 5 more minutes before we get to Foster's T-shirt section. But before we get there, what are your prediction for Dale? What type of season you think he's going to have with the Bears?
I mean, Foster, do we want to start with you? Is Foster there? Bueller?
You muted, Tooch.
I was coming in, Tooch.
Tooch!
He's coming in, Tooch. Can't hear nothing. You know what? I don't know. I just feel this, dude. The man's going to be disruptive. I think he's going to have a really good, maybe one of his best seasons with the Bears. I just got a gut feeling on it. He's going to be disruptive, and we were talking about that even last night. Would you guys rather have a big sack guy? Would you rather have somebody with 17 or 18 sacks, or would you rather have a guy that disrupts everything on every play?
The Bengals answered that question for themselves. That's why they took Shamar Stewart, a guy who only had 3 sacks in 4 years. I don't know. You're looking at, by the way, you're looking at the career statistics of one Deo Odengbo. So he started with a half sack in his rookie year. Followed that up with 5 sacks, and then the reason the Bears are paying him the money he is that he had 8 sacks in 2023. And this past year, he only had 3 sacks, but is that Colts team very good? I don't think so.
No, it's what you got around him. I expect him to be a disrupting force on that line because we haven't had it.
Holy smokes, I don't know the accuracy of this whatsoever, but I mean, in 23 when he got 8 sacks, he only started 1 football game.
That's
oh my God.
The rotation in effect, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, holy smokes, is that the key here? Is this guy gonna be like Mark Anderson for us? Just come off the bench, 6th man of the year, so to speak? Like, wow.
You gotta keep him fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather have drafted a premier defensive tackle from the University of Michigan instead of their tight end.
Grant me his name.
Yeah, Kenneth, if you will. Yeah, jeez.
I just think he's going to be a disruptive force. It's really about how Allen uses all of these guys. Remember when they were talking about, and this is Ben Johnson going, "Oh yeah, I don't need 5 linemen. I need 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9 linemen." And that's one thing that I always complain about the depth, usually on the offensive line. But look at what happened. Sweat playing injured, and then Billings goes down. I mean, that just follow the defensive pattern. What happened once Sweat had those little nagger injuries, and we lost Billings. So now we needed more disruption in that line because the depth fell off big time. Nobody was. Who was the one tack? Who was playing nose or one tack that was effective after Billings?
Well, that's exactly what happened. Billings went down. So did the rest of the team. We had to scavenge a failed nose tackle one technique from the Packers practice squad. And the kid, his last name is Ford. He played fine. When he got his opportunity, he played okay. But he's not the player that we needed. And we passed on the player that we needed at 10th overall. Instead, we chose a tight end. That's the fact of the matter.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, Relentless Mikey, bravo. We're going to get a first-hand look. I keep talking about it. I'm going to lose some credibility here. How good is Kenneth Grant? We're gonna figure that out. And I'm going to Reddit right now to see if anyone from that subreddit for the Dolphins is talking about Kenneth Grant, because I want to hear it from someone who is completely separate from our circle, right? How good is this kid? Because I think he could be fantastic.
It depends on
Kenneth Grant.
I think I don't know how Miami playing him, because if I'm not mistaken, Miami got 3 big horses up front. And
they had a huge issue, PJ, where they lost, I think his name is Christian Wilkins this past year. He went to the Raiders. I desperately wanted him on the Bears, but the Raiders overpaid him. But he's
they
a
have Jordan
fantastic player.
Phillips there, I believe.
You're probably right.
They have Jordan Phillips, and I think they drafted 2 nose tackles in the draft.
I don't know who else they drafted, if I'm being honest with you.
It's Kenneth Grant, and then they drafted someone in the 2nd or 3rd round, another nose tackle. So they got some big horses up there. That's why I'm like, I don't know what type of scheme they're running. I'm assuming a 3-4, but they got some big guys.
Yeah, I mean, think about their division, right? The Patriots have a really bad offensive line. They tried to improve it. They drafted 2 offensive linemen in their first 2 picks. That's a joke with the pass pro of Trayvon Henderson. The Bills, what are you going to do against the Bills in that division? And the Jets, what's the Jets' deal? I feel like they're also weak in the trenches. So the Dolphins probably feel like they could beat up on their other 2 division rivals outside of the Bills. It's not a bad way to go.
Okay. They drafted Kenneth Grant in the 1st round. 2nd round, they drafted Jordan Phillips, who's a defensive tackle as well. And I forgot who they already had another nose tackle already there.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I cannot think.
The Miami Dolphins roster, gentlemen. We're talking about the interior of their defensive line.
Correct.
Oh, I'm not saying Zeke's last name. Matthew Butler, Kenneth Grant, Alex Huntley, Benito Jones. That's one of those, like, how do I say this? Sneaky, not awful players. Like, he's just one of those players that finds himself onto a good roster. Then you're right. I see Jordan Phillips, Zach Seller, Ben Still. I don't know, man. I don't feel like they have as much beef as maybe you were trying to explain, or maybe I'm undervaluing these guys. I don't know.
Well, Kenneth Grant, he played the one technique in Michigan, but here he's not. He's going to be playing the defensive end in a 3-4 system. So he's a big guy, and for him to
almost
be
like Akeem Hicks, if you will.
Yeah, because the 3 technique for Michigan was the other guy, Graham, right?
Yes.
Mason Graham.
Yes.
And so Kenneth was the 1 technique, and so that's what I'm saying. So now they got him playing defensive end. They got Benito Jones. They got Jordan Phillips. So yeah, they're going to be more beefier, I believe.
I don't know. Do you see
I
that
mean,
working out? Karl's been playing on the end.
If it's the Akeem Hicks role in a 3-4, yeah, absolutely. He might actually excel at that. I mean, I always revert back to this conversation that Greg Gabriel had with a Houston radio host who essentially he was a former scout and was trying to attain information on Mason Graham. He called his contact at Michigan and said, "Hey, what's up with this guy?" And he gave him the spiel, but he came out with it saying that Kenneth Grant has higher potential than Mason Graham. So a player like that, just because he was pigeonholed into that position, doesn't mean that's what he was born to play. I mean, the guy, clips are all around social media. The guy can flat out move as a big, big man. So it's just a player I wish the Bears had, man. That's all I can really say about it.
And sidebar here, there are different ways of playing a 3-4. I know you can play a 3-4 the typical way where you line up man over man. That's when you have your zero technique. Then you have your five techniques. Your four techniques that actually lined up right over the center and the tackles respectively. Now, if you go to like a one technique and a three technique within the 3-4 system, you can also have a four technique on the other end of the other side of the one technique, to where they're lining kind of off and more into the gap. So when you have bigger guys, I guess you want to have more of the even numbers, being the zero technique or the four technique, and you can take up blocks, soak up blocks. But when you have more of the odd numbers, being one technique or three, you're more using one gap system and shooting your gap and controlling your one particular gap.
I know that was something that when you guys were watching the All-22, the Bears kind of struggled with, as far as maybe not the defensive linemen, but definitely their linebackers, right? They weren't hitting their holes, and it was kind of contributing to poor run defense. But anyway, Foster.
I'm anxious to see what Dennis Allen does with these guys, because we've got guys that I think we talked about it before, where some of them might have been playing out of position in Eberflus's defense, and then adding Jarrett and Brady and Dale. I mean, that's huge, because there was a depth issue there. Are these guys going to be playing set positions all the time? I don't think so. I think we are going to see some of what you're talking about, where you were just talking about with Grant playing defensive end. I think you're going to see these guys rotate in more positions. I want to see. I can't wait to see what he's going to do with this defense. This was the topic last night. Was what is this defense going to be? Is this defense capable of being a top tier, top 10 defense with the talent that we have and the coaching? I mean, that's a legit question. We've all talked about how we need that other defensive end. Can Allen get this rotation right to where that's not going to matter? And then who the actual, the name is, it could be multiple names. And then as far as the one tech or the nose tackle, depending on the alignment that Allen's using, because I think we're going to see various alignments. After Billings or before Billings, who's going to play that position? And okay, so Peach, who is going to be the 3 tech to start the game? Let me just ask you that.
My assumption would probably be Grady.
Okay.
So who's his running mate in that scenario?
I'm thinking they're going to have Dexter playing one technique, not zero technique. but one technique.
Now, I thought it was the flip side because I thought that they would rely on the athleticism of the younger Gervon Dexter,
Right.
and Grady Jarrett, who, again, I keep referring to the statistic and I cannot find it for the life of me, but I'm pretty sure that Grady Jarrett in this past year graded out extremely highly against double teams. And I feel like that would kind of pigeonhole yourself into a one technique position. So
Well, they could, because I've seen teams do this as well. They switch the one technique and the three technique depending on the strength of the line.
yes.
So on any given play, either one of them can be that, depending on where the strength is.
Yeah.
So maybe they're telling them, we're not going to designate who's the one or the three.
Yeah.
We're just going to let you guys go by the strength of the line. I mean, the strength of the offense is on the right side, and in that type of defense, you'll see a guy who's always on the left side per se, and a guy who's always on the right side. So depending on the strength of the line, that may determine now who's your one technique and who's your three technique. If that's how Dennis Allen runs his defense, I don't know if he runs it with a one and a three technique, or is he running it with twos and fours?
So razzle dazzle, as you saw, PJ's clearly having a little bit of an outburst tonight. Razzle, if you have a question, please ask it. I will make sure that it is presented to us fine folks up here. So please, by all means.
Yeah,
CSP, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, Trax? I would like to see, and I'm not saying every play all time unless it works out, is I would like to go back to seeing Dexter on the out playing the end a little more. You know, his rookie season, what was it? What did he play? Like 18, let's say 18% of his snaps he played with the defensive end position his rookie year. I just like to see how that shake out. And then I don't know, like, what's going on with Pickens? Is he done? I mean, what's going on with him? I know you're saying goodbye, but he kind of fits what Allen wants for the defense. So does Dominique Robinson. And these guys are all, as far as we're looking at it, they're all on the bubble.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at the depth chart if that's something that you feel like is worthy of doing that right now. But I don't know. I'm very, very skeptical of a guy like Zach Pickens, man. I feel like if he had anything, we would have seen it by now. And I know he's been dealing with injuries, whatever the case is.
Been on the field. That's the biggest problem.
So this is your offense. Here's your defense.
I personally think he's been playing out of position.
Pickens.
And that would mean that he should be playing more of the three tech position?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, maybe we're talking about my graphic here. When you see the position, it's closer to the position, the closer to the starter, right? Just look at Jalen Johnson. He's the starter. Zay Frazier behind him, so on and so forth, right? So if you look at the interior, you're saying maybe Gervon Dexter. Sorry, I keep fucking up his name. Gervon Dexter should be the nose. Grady Jarrett's in his rightful spot at the 3. And behind Jarrett would be Zach Pickens. And behind Dexter would be Billings.
Yeah,
Shamar Turner's like that fifth interior / just wild card factor.
I actually have Zach Pickens as possibly the 5th because he could play some nose and some one technique and some 3 technique. I think Shamar is a true 3 technique. I think Gervon, because of the progress he's made, I don't see them wanting to sit him down. Yeah. I don't see them saying, hey, you know what, man? Yeah, you got all this athleticism going for you. You're doing all these workouts. We're going to sit you because we got Grady. I don't see that. I don't. And because I think they want him to be here long term, if you sit him down, you may ruin him or leave a bad taste in his mouth to where you're going to go somewhere else. So,
yeah.
And Andrew may be a better one technique, but because of other factors, And again, I don't know for sure how Dennis Allen is going to actually run his defense. Is he going to have the guys line up right over the defensive tackles, or are they going to have them playing in the gap?
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. That depends. And I think if you have them line up right over the tackle, off of the offensive guards, you can have both guys being Grady and Javon in there because they basically playing the same role, and then they might shift according to the strength of the offensive line.
That's, I mean, even Mike is saying, so you're saying you could literally have, let's just say they start and the game open up, and you've got Jarrett and Dexter on the field at the same time playing right over the guards.
I think, unfortunately, just talent alone, without PJ's expertise on the matter, it is Dexter and Jarrett are your two best defensive linemen as far as the interior goes, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Billings is good. I love him. But I do think that Dexter and Jarrett are just, a cut above.
Now, I will admit this, though, from what I've seen in the last 2 years, I love the way Javon and Billings play together.
Yes.
I think they play well together. Now, how that, again, translates in this defense, we don't know, because not all 4-3 defenses are the same.
What that means is that Jarrett would be in front of Billings on the depth chart, positional, and PJ has explained this in my opinion perfectly, right? I think that at the end of the day, the shtick and the way that Dennis Allen wants to run his defense, especially on the defensive line, it's going to be a bit positionless. And maybe that's why they overpaid, if you want to say it that way, for Deo. Maybe they want him to be able to play 50% of his snaps on the exterior and the other 50 on the interior. I don't know. But as far as being positionless and only, trying to get pressure with 4 and maybe here and there an exotic blitz, I think that's the cup of tea that we're talking about here.
Well, to Foster's point, I think if you look at Dale, Shamar Turner, as well as Javon Dexter, all 3 of them can play either tackle or defensive end.
Yeah.
So there's multiple things he can do there.
They played it.
And I've heard the term already, cross-training with Dennis Allen, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone bit the apple on this and said, Kyler Gordon's going to be our safety. Call bullshit on that. But it applies to all 11 positions on the field, right? You want to have that cross-training, that flexibility, just to have, I guess, that element of uncertainty as far as, game planning against the Bears defense this year.
You've got multiple reasons for that. Uncertainty, and this happens every year, injury. Because it always seems to bite us in the ass. I mean, how many times since last season? What would have happened? Billings would have stayed healthy all season.
Maybe, Foster, that's the perfect segue into a question I can ask you guys, and let's obviously exclude the starting quarterback from this. Is there an injury that the Bears simply could not sustain? If a certain player on this team got injured outside of Caleb Williams, that essentially the season is over. Does that apply to anyone? Or to multiple?
What do they do if Sweat's gone for the year after game 3?
That's the exact kind of question I'm bringing up, right? Like, you have to have that star man on the defensive line. You have to have the respect of a double team from somewhere, in my opinion.
What if Tooney's gone immediately? I mean, we might have a little leeway there because we've seen some Bill Murray, but the competition, and you got to remember that guy's a new guard. He's not a guard. He wasn't a guard. It's a transition.
If they traded for Joe Tooney alone and didn't have Jonah Jackson, and you already had like a weak right guard, I'd say if the left guard went down, even with a good center, you'd probably be screwed. But I do think that the Bears could probably, and I hope not see this, but any of those 3 in the interior, it would suck. I don't know if it immediately derail the entire season, but I think Sweat is very close to that.
Well, look at just how different it was when he had those nagging injuries for the last 7-8 games.
Sweat.
Sweat
was like DJ Moore. They both played the entire season injured, all like 15 plus games, in my opinion.
First.
Yeah.
So I think it comes back to PJ and I have been talking about it forever. Usually interior offensive line, the line itself and the depth. And somebody in the chat even said, I don't think I don't think we have. He doesn't think we have enough depth. Maybe was it Relentless Mikey? Somebody said. I saw it somewhere in the chat. They said something like, "I don't think we have enough depth to afford a couple major injuries, man." But we've got guys like I'll jump to the offensive side. Is we've got guys that we really don't know what we have. Karan and the rookies, Ozzy. So I mean, we don't know what they're capable because we haven't seen enough of them. Like how many plays did Karan get to play last year? How many snaps was he on the field for the season? Not a lot. Not a lot. So it's like, God, I gotta just. Somebody said it, man. It's I wish it was August already. You know, I don't want it to be August, but I kind of wish it was August because then I could start seeing. I know it's preseason, but then you get some idea. It ain't going to tell you the whole story, but you'll get some idea of what we have because we don't. I won't say we've got a lot of question marks, but we've got a lot of questions as to who's capable and coming in after injury because we don't.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, Pete. Go ahead.
I know. I just think. I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm really thinking about it. It's like Poles has done a good job of giving us depth, but in the same token, it's like I look at maybe Sweat because we don't really have that pass rusher who's giving us double-digit sacks on the regular. Yeah. I mean, Sweat done it over with 2 teams over 1 year and got to 12, 6 on each team. But that's maybe him, but I really can't say. I mean, because I'm expecting big things out of Dale, but as Karl already showed us, the most sacks he had in one season, that was when he only started 1 game, and that was only 8 sacks.
Look what Melon Snatchers does.
Wait a second. Foster, I just didn't want this to get lost in translation. I believe I'm seeing from Pro Football Reference that Karl Monangai had 125 offensive snaps this past year.
Okay, it's more than I thought.
He only started 1 game.
It's still more than I thought.
But a lot of those are probably, I don't know if that's including special teams. No, it says offensive. So 125 offensive snaps. I know he had because when we were watching the All-22 or whatever it was, we would hunt for the plays where he played a snap, right? Because I was compiling the snap percentages. So he had those like 6th offensive lineman type snaps, not truly as a tackle.
Right, right. That's what he had. He had a lot of those.
Yeah.
We just don't. We don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
If you look through the roster, I mean, if you lose 1 tackle, is the whole season over? I don't think so. Especially if Braxton Jones gets some sort of health, right? Darnell Wright goes down. Sucks. You got Ozzy Trapillo. I think he could do a job for a little bit. Your wide receiver situation is good as it's ever been for the Bears, arguably, as far as depth, maybe. Yeah. I'll have a spoiler on that later. But, again, DJ Moore goes down. I don't think everything is done. Cole Kmet goes down, or Colson Loveland isn't healthy to start the season. I don't think the whole season's lost.
Right.
The running back is the one where it gets interesting, right? If Kyle Monangai, kind of the theme of this episode, if Kyle Monangai is not the guy, and DeAndre Swift goes down, and you're stuck with Roshan Johnson, Ian Wheeler, Travis Homer, maybe that's a big issue. And I don't think Swift's very good, but again, just talking about a guy going down could suck.
Swift's solid enough and reliable enough. The thing is, I don't know if you remember talking about this before too, Peach. Remember how Roshan was when he started his rookie season, those games before he got injured? He really, to me, hasn't looked the same since that injury.
No, he hasn't.
It's like he's hesitant or something, or I can't even put my finger on it. That's part of the problem. I wanted to say too, Razzle Dazzle, Mark, and who else just popped in here? Besides Traxxer. Oh, Steve Rogers, Mark, Razzle Dazzle's been in here for a little bit. But hi, guys. Thanks for hopping in here.
And I do think that Razzle Dazzle brings up a good point, though. The thing that the Bears has been lacking for several years is developing their own
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's part of the problem. We look at a Pickens. We look at Pickens, who basically was a second round draft choice, being a 64th pick. Granted, first one in the second round. I mean, third round that year. But what has he really shown? I mean, that to me is borderline criminal. The lack of production and getting him up to par. Even look at Valus Jones. The Valus Jones, we drafted him, and as much as I liked him, I'm like, bottom line is he didn't produce. But in the same token, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was drafted after him, look how well he's doing. Now, I know that's cherry picking, but the point being, I agree with Razzle Dazzle in the sense that we are not doing a good job of developing enough of our young players to where we now have to go out in free agency and grab people all the time.
Agreed. I mean, we haven't done a good job of that in a while. You can pick out a few players here and there, and that's even under the last regime, not even this regime. But other than that, you go back and look, we are not good at developing players. They always seem to do better after they leave Chicago. You could probably start naming names, man.
The only thing that comes to mind is the reverse psychology with the Packers. We always seem to get the Packers cast off on, God, they're terrible, right? I know Adam Mason is really banging the drum for Joel Wilson, our tight end number 4. I hate the CCP Packers sleeper agents, man. I'm just sick and tired of it. Lucas Patrick, EQ St. Brown, these guys just like, to be frank, fuck off. I'm done with them.
That seems to be kind of thing.
Joking, man.
Between us,
we need the CCP song in here. Sorry, Peach.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm talking about just thinking between us and Green Bay, we seem to get each other cast off because if I remember correctly, the Packers tried to sign Kyle Fuller from us, and we
did
matched the contract.
They did sign him, and we matched it. Yes.
Yeah, it's like
Adrian Amos.
But the Packers always get the better end of it. We always get screwed by anybody we take from Green Bay. It seems
it's hard. That's hard to evaluate Julius Peppers because he wasn't bad for the Packers. That really pissed me off. But the more I think about it and the more I reflect, I guess I was too young to realize Peppers was really freaking good for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
He was a really good player.
Yeah.
He was. Sometimes those sack guys are the disruptors, man. They change the game. We were talking about that last night too, but
they just never really had a good player opposite him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What they did was they supplemented the age of that 05-06 defense. They carried that into the 2010s, and they said, let's just patchwork it, okay? Let's sign Peppers. Let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah. And then I'm not ready to get into this, but as far as a conspiracy theory, I've been floated out the idea that Lovie Smith was the fall guy. They needed to fire him so that when that defense started to really age out, it's just because Lovey's gone. No, it's because those guys are too fucking old, man. That was the problem. They held on too long.
And that's part of the problem, again, to what Razzle Dazzle was saying.
Yeah.
When have we consistently developed our players? Early on in Lovey's career, but toward the end, not so much because we getting the Jared Allens and we getting the Julius Peppers all these guys try to hurry up and get a fix. And it's like, develop your young guys. I mean, be it play. I mean, even with Nick Kwiatkowski, he didn't make it past his first contract with us.
Yeah.
Why are we getting rid of these young guys, man?
I was sad to see
Well, we had to make a choice, and we chose Danny Trevathan, and
made the wrong choice.
Just stopped paying for him last year. So
made the wrong choice. I mean,
I don't know about that. I think it was kind of like a rock and a hard place because Kwiatkowski went to the Raiders, I believe, and he was Joe Schmo.
Actually, his first season there was pretty solid. I don't know what happened, if it was injury or what, but I didn't delve into it because he was one of the guys that I was like, like this year I'm crying about Sanborn going to Dallas because we can jump into that too. So we got two linebackers, and who do we got for who's, we only use 2 linebackers most of the time. What if one of those guys gets hurt?
Well, Foster,
Sanborn was a guy who could have played all 3 positions. We already know it because we've seen it, especially in the middle.
Now,
go ahead.
Chad and Mark both sit there bring up the fact that we even let Roquan walk. Granted, I understand the contract situation, but to the point, we are not developing our young players. We said this before.
Roquan doesn't apply. Roquan was in fact traded for. Was that no? That it was Mack that became Jaquan Brisker.
A second and a fifth is what we traded Roquan for.
And Roquan,
what
player was that?
So
Oh my God!
The pick of Roquan, like at that point in the time, because Darnold just went. Who was ever next was going to probably take that linebacker if it was a need for any team. So I mean, it wasn't even like it's not like even somebody that you've gone after and staged to develop because he was the next available best athlete at that time. What did we get him at 11 right after Darnold? I don't remember. I just know
you talking about Roquan?
Yeah, I got it wrong. I got the wrong draft.
Yeah. Roquan was in the draft with Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson. I think went like a couple of picks before Roquan and
PJ.
Sir.
Roquan Smith became Jervon Dexter.
Okay. Yeah. And that's what I mean, but if I remember correctly, Edmonds, I think he went number 10 or number 12 that draft.
Tremaine Edmonds was drafted in the same draft as Roquan Smith, and it was like 5 picks after. It was a very high pick.
Yeah.
What's up, Rocket Dream and Rocket Dream, which I don't recognize this name.
Nice try, Melon Smasher.
Rocket Dream said Kwiatkowski wanted too much. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was definitely a situation where we had to only choose one of those middle linebackers. We chose Danny Trevathan.
Because he played well until he got injured.
Yeah.
Did he ever, you look at him on the field, and I remember he was not terrible. It's not somebody that like was an immediate need of replacement. And then what happened? He got hurt, and where did he go? Nowhere.
Now, to address Steve Rogers, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought Smith was getting $20 million per year, not 18.
We can figure that out.
Roquan Smith. I thought that was a hang up. We was trying to pay him 18 per year, and he wanted 20.
I thought he got his 20 in Baltimore.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking he got 20. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm furiously hitting up the old Spo track. So let's go ahead and delve right into this.
Razzle Dazzle saying that Trevathan was good, and then Relentless Mikey's like Trevathan became too expensive, but then he got injured and never saw the field.
I'm pretty sure that a combination of 23 and 24, this is his rookie deal. So right now he's getting paid. The cap hits are 23, 28, and 28. They have a potential out.
I don't know. I think his 23 year would be his first year out of his new contract.
Well, we have to figure that out.
Because he was a rookie in 18.
Trade Roquan.
He was a rookie in 18.
So he got 5th-year option as a first-round pick.
Right. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
The trade occurred on October 31st, 2022. It was in the middle of the season, right? Because Roquan had a game against the Cowboys where, hate to bring this up, Fields didn't tackle Micah Parsons, whatever happened. And then after that, shit hit the fan and Roquan Smith got traded. So it appears that this 2023 is... Yeah, 2023, that's the 4th year of his contract, I think. And 2024 is the 5th-year option.
No, sir. He was a rookie in 2018. When we went to the playoffs.
Let's see the Roquan contract then.
19, 20, 21, 22. 22 would be his 5th year. So 23 would start the first year of his new contract.
Roquan Smith signed a 5-year, $100 million contract with the team in January 2023.
We know.
So whatever the case is, though, they are doing a very smart financial thing to where in 2024, which I'm assuming they gave a boatload of money to Lamar Jackson that year, it just wasn't. I don't know if they used a 5th-year option or how they did that.
That's his first year, but
Yeah, no,
they
2024
they gave
option
him.
bonus.
Say it again.
I'm just looking at the contract notes. Oh no, that's just referencing that's irrelevant. Never mind.
It's all irrelevant because we don't have him and he's not here anymore.
True.
But what people are talking about in the draft, and I'm like, you guys got to remember this because they're like, Melon Smashers, call him Poles or Bozo. Well, Roquan requested a trade, then he was a hold in, and then he dissed Poles in the media. So how long? Who's going to last with any GM if you're doing that? You guys, I don't know if you guys remember the whole scenario. I'm not sure I remember it all correctly, but I know when this came up, I remember sitting here going, "Up, just get rid of him, trade him," because I don't know if I want that mentality in my clubhouse, man, where he's going to diss the GM and the ownership, and then come back and play for us. And he was trying to negotiate his own salary because he didn't have an agent. So he wanted everything his way.
What was that guy's name? It was insane. The Phantom Agent, Saint Omni. Saint Omni. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I forgot about that. I
Oh
forgot
my
about
God.
that.
The good old days, huh?
So, and then we all expected Edmonds to just grow from what he was in Buffalo, and it hasn't happened.
Yeah, I don't think we've
Maybe
gotten
it'll
the
shake out
sliver.
better this year with Allen. I don't know. And plus, they're moving positions now with the linebacker. So
There's a chance that they flip flop. We know T.J. Edwards is here for the long haul. He got extended, so
yep. I like that move. That was a solid move by Foles. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
He is the heart of that linebacking core. So who's the third linebacker in this?
it's Ruben
Who's it gonna be?
Hippolyte. That's why I kept pointing to my hat. Chad, have a good night, buddy.
Thanks, Chad. Thanks for stopping there and everything you do for this show, brother.
Thank
you
you,
stay
Chad.
safe.
Good seeing you, Chad. Thank you for stopping there, man.
But yeah, I've fallen victim. I had an impulse buy with this beautiful hat of mine that Ruben Hippolyte had at his press conference, his most recent one. I mean, I'm kind of all in on Hippolyte at this point. Not necessarily as you're starting, your first linebacker in the rotation, whatever the case is. There's no rotation. But I think that he's a player who, if he doesn't start this year, he'll have that ability to do so maybe next year and allow you to truly cut ties with Edmonds, because as we all know, there's a lot financially to be gained from cutting Tremaine Edmonds next year.
Yeah. Edmonds as well as Swift, I expect to be released next year. But to you guys' point, I don't know. I'm curious to see with this linebacking core who's actually going to be the Mike and who's going to be the wheel. I predict that the way Dennis Allen runs his defense, I can see Edwards being more of the Mike and Edmonds being more of the wheel. I just don't know how well he will play running downhill to fill the gap, being the wheel. I expect him to get some blitzes in. I expect him to be more of a blitzer this year. Talking about Edmonds, I expect him to be more of a blitzer from the wheel linebacker spot. But I just wondering about the run fits, because when we was doing that all 22 last year, a lot of times I've seen his first step being backwards, stepping back as opposed to stepping forward. And, part of that wheel linebacker spot is to come in there and fill that gap. So I wonder how well he's going to do there.
So you're saying that if they were to switch and he held that tendency, that not only was he bad at the mic, but those tendencies would lead to be even worse at the will?
Well, with the will, I mean, like I said, you got to come down and fill that gap sometimes because you're the weak side linebacker. So you coming down. And a lot of times when I was watching him, he wasn't stepping forward. He was stepping back or staying where he's at and kind of like moving laterally. And it's like that hesitation costs a yard or two on certain plays. I hope he can correct that, but we'll see.
The best thing about Edmonds is his length, and I'm not talking about below the belt. I'm talking about his wingspan and specifically the height, right? That's very important, in my opinion, in pass coverage. And our favorite buddy, I don't know if it was Melon Smasher or Razzle Dazzle, these guys are fighting it out to see who's the biggest you-know-what in the chat tonight. But they made a good comment. One of them, I don't know who it was, they said that T.J. Hawkinson and Sam Laporta have already in their careers dominated a Dennis Allen defense. So we probably need a linebacker who is able to cover a good tight end. Because, again, we just mentioned two. They're still in the NFC North with us. And that Kraft guy, the quarterback who's throwing to him sucks, but I think that Kraft guy is a decent enough tight end too. So they got to figure that out.
Could that be because his typical linebackers are either 6 feet or 6'1"? Dennis Allen, that is. So now he actually has one who's 6'5", and maybe he can do it.
My fear is what I just said about the guy whose hat I'm essentially wearing. It's not his hat, but that Ruben Hippolyte's like 6 foot.
Yep.
So we're going to regress to the mean and have short linebackers again. Are we going to scheme up Edmonds and hamstring ourselves and say, yep, we're on the hook for $20 million next year? He's got to go.
Nah.
That's. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, because I was saying it last year during the seasons. I'm like, all right, leave Edwards at the will, and put Sanborn back at the mic. Kyle, remember when I said he's going to kill it in Dallas?
Not only do I remember, I documented it.
And
we can pull this up whenever we want.
No, and this is why I want to ask you a question. And you told me that as you were putting that together, you didn't realize how much you were going to miss him, if I remember.
And it wasn't because I was watching his film and having these genius breakdowns like a PJ or the other guys from the BCPL 22 panel. I'm talking about the emotion.
Shout out to J2K.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Shout out to
Samo.
Yeah, Samo, J2K. What's up,
yeah, I'm teasing everyone. I've got an announcement. I don't know if I should be doing this, but we have an announcement to make. We'll make it later. So if you guys want to stick around, it's nothing too fancy, but we hope it becomes something. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Foster, I'm going to bring up that video because you keep referencing it.
Go ahead.
Well, you can keep talking, but yeah, I'm just going to play it one time because I don't want to get demonetized.
One time.
One time for the Monangai.
For the Monangai. One time for the Monangai.
What tribe do you belong to? The Monangai tribe.
Okay, PJ. Interesting day for you to say that. But no, I'm just kidding.
Women
Let's
have
take a
called me
look
that
here,
before.
Foster.
A man nun guy. We
I
could
don't
do
know
this
how
too,
well
Paige.
this is going to look.
Paige, we could do this too anytime you want. You just tell me when.
As soon as we get done with this video, we're going to have Foster go with the t-shirt.
I apologize. It's not going to be the best view. Oh, can I do full screen? Oh, that's a little bit better. Are we ready, everyone?
Sanborn's going to be one of the best defensive players of the year.
In the NFL or for the Cowboys?
In the NFL.
Okay.
The pass defense there, too?
Now, don't bang the drum on that Chiefs game. Come on. See, that was the stuff right there. It's kind of just like, he just did his job, man.
One of the other guys I liked was in there, Gibson. Travis.
Can I say one thing about that video?
Him. Yeah.
Or the whole situation with Sanborn?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he have his best years before Eberflus got here?
No, I think he was an acquisition under Eberflus. It was more he was thrust in a position on a terrible team that 2022, 2023 rosters, I think.
Okay.
He took Roquan's spot when we traded him.
That's probably exactly what it was.
Yeah. Into the middle linebacker position.
That's exactly what it was. That was exactly what it was. Yeah.
And everybody was worried about it, and then he was king for that year, if you remember, especially the first 8 or 10 weeks.
So is that nostalgia bait, right?
We
We lost an incredible.
He had more tackles than Roquan did until he got injured, man. Then he got injured. He was in the top 5 in the NFL. He was ahead of Roquan. Might have been in the top 3 if I remember correctly.
What's up,
I
Jay
don't
Grizz?
know. I don't know. I'm anxious to see.
So King Booker World.
Booker.
Okay, all right. Special segment here. Time for Foster to explain the T-shirt.
All right. And Chad Speaker, who left, got this one right off the bat. So I'm sure you guys have heard of a couple of these guys' songs because they've been in a bunch of movies. Steve Miller Band, they came out in 1968. I was fortunate enough to see them in the 70s, the 80s, and in the 2000s. I can't remember what year this is. I don't know if it's on there, but I can't see it. Hits including a song called Take the Money and Run. I know that was in a couple movies. You ever see the commercial where the guy's singing in the bathroom and he's going, all of a sudden you hear Bingo Jet Airliner singing the wrong lyrics? That was not too long ago. So the song Big Old Jet Airliner, tons of hits. He had tons of hits in the 70s and into the early 80s. He's still out there playing today. Him and his band, they're still out there playing. I saw him, I don't know, it's got, oh my God, you know what? I thought it was 5 or 6 years ago. I bet you this shirt's 10 years old. So, but that's it. Steve Miller Band. I'm sure some of you older guys, Clipster, anybody, the Joker, King Booker got it.
Plank says Steve Miller
rocks. All right, there we go. Ampharius. I've seen Steve Miller Band over 10 times. Fantastic band to see live. Absolutely.
For those of you in the chat who does not know, every now and then Foster will show us a T-shirt from his many of the over 100 concerts he's been to. So, yeah, I can only imagine going to that many concerts. Like I told you guys, I've only been to like 1 or 2. So the fact that he's been to that many and he has these T-shirts, that's just amazing to me.
Well, I prefer where Foster takes his shirt off, but PJ, I hear what you're saying.
I am not going out with you anymore, Karl.
Hey, you want to get Johnny's beef? Yeah, that's what she said.
No, I was trying to do it every week, and things happen. Like, honestly, this week, you know what I was looking for, and I can't find it, was my very first concert T-shirt. It's like a piece of paper. You can see through it. I still have a 1975 Rolling Stones World Tour T-shirt. The oldest one I got. Can't even wear it. I took it and sewed it onto another shirt because I've been wearing it for 50 years. Literally 50 years. Doesn't even fit me. I had to cut the sleeves off and everything because I was so little then. Wow. Music's awesome. Music's good for the soul. It's good for the spirit if it's uplifting. So these guys all know because I see it in the chat. They're either putting lyrics in there or the actual song. So
Relentless Mikey says he's been upwards of 70 concerts in his lifetime.
There you go. Awesome, Mikey.
So how old would Mikey have to be for that to not be insanity, right? If he's been going to concerts for 35 years, that'd be 2 concerts a year. Is that really a lot? I don't know if it's a lot. It's just consistent, right? If you're going to 5 concerts a year, that feels insane to me.
Well, I did a lot of going to 4 or 5, 6 concerts a year, sometimes more even. I in the early 80s, man, if there was a show, I was going. If there was a show on a Saturday, Sunday, and I wasn't working, I was going. And so was half my damn neighborhood because it wasn't just me. We'd literally get 15 or 20 people to go. Like sometimes, man, and I kid you not, as a matter of fact, one time in particular, I don't even have the shirt anymore because it got destroyed. Like 27 of us went up to Alpine Valley, Wisconsin, invaded a campground, and took it over for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday just to see Ted Nugent and Aerosmith. So I say 100, but I bet if I go through it, it's probably more. It's probably closer to 200, but I don't know because I can't remember all of them. Because I've been doing it since I was 10 years old. I've been going to concerts.
I know.
Started and that's not counting all the bands that I go see at bars, and some of them are bands that were huge in the 70s and 80s, but now they're playing these 200-300 people bars. Those are some of the best shows I've ever been to, and I don't have shirts from them because there was no shirt to buy, you know. So, or I spent it on beer and broads, Peach.
Mikey says
I was gonna say beer and brats.
That too. The Brat Stop in Wisconsin.
The Brat Stop.
The violent femmes, for anybody who knows them. Great band.
Excuse
Great
me,
band.
the Violent Femmes?
The Violent Femmes. They're amazing, dude. Look them up on YouTube, man. I'm serious. Because you've heard their songs, too, because there's a couple songs that they got that have been in 20 or 30 movies.
Wow.
Well, you got
Relentless Mikey was on Aerosmith's tour bus. Nice.
Yeah, he said his favorite concerts were Billy Joel and Paul McCartney.
Billy Joel's awesome, dude. That dude's awesome. I saw him 3 times, and the first time I saw him was in 1979, and then I saw him in 81 when they opened up the old Rosemont Horizon.
Was Melon Smasher the one who told me that I don't watch football, or was it the other one?
I don't know.
What's going on here? He says that the Patriots have a cupcake schedule and suggests that both the Vegas Raiders, the Dolphins, and Carolina are all cupcake. I don't know, buddy. I just don't know if I can subscribe to that.
Well,
I have a lot of respect for Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I go ahead, Pete.
And I can't just count that as an easy win. Carolina, okay, yeah, okay. New Orleans, yeah, okay.
Carolina's got a good quarterback.
I'll give them New Orleans at this phase, and possibly Cleveland, because we don't even know what the heck's going on at quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to talk about Cleveland, because we got some like bleeding edge news.
But I'm with Peach. I just now if this was last year and he's got the Raiders as a walkover, I'll agree with it. But you bring in Pete Carroll and a couple guys they brought in that staff. I just know that team's going to be better than they've been in the last 3 or 4 years, because they have since they got rid of Carr, and even his last year they haven't done crap. I think we played them twice. I know I was at one of the games, and they almost beat us.
Tyson Bagent, I thought, dominated him. So
that's what it was. They didn't know. Blister in the Sun, and Farias got it. That's the song
very
you know you've heard. You've heard it, Karl. Blister in the Sun. You too, Pete.
I have a feeling I've heard quite a lot of the songs that you referred to. It's just that I don't know the name of them, and I don't know who composed the songs, the bands. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But anyway, bleeding edge news, I mean, it was revealed that Shedeur Sanders has been pulled over for traffic citations for speeding twice in the past week. So, talk about a fall from grace after being touted as a first-round pick. How stupid can you be, kid?
There's a mentality or their issue that that's been the whole thing with him from day one in the draft.
Yeah,
is his mentality because of what you see, and I'm talking about at the podium in the media, and now he's got the 2 citations. Well, you would think after you got 1, because if you get 3, your license is gone. So then to go out and get a second one.
To Naj's point, I played Blister in the Sun for 5 seconds. You tell me I never heard Absolutely, that's a monster hit. Absolutely.
That's the Violent Femmes, my friend.
But if you would have given me 50 guesses, I would have never guessed who made the song or what the name of the song was. But I've heard the song forever.
They used to play at the Brat Stop all the time, right? And was right at the Wisconsin border, man. That's where I saw them the first time I saw them, and I didn't even know who they were.
Do we want to entertain Steve Rogers? Good old Chicago hot dog poll.
Ooh. Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry. I never ended the previous poll.
It says, Karl, I got a good old Chicago poll. Best hot dog joint. Gina Jude's, Portillo's, Red's, Bona Beef. And I'm going to throw Jimmy's on Pulaski in there. Jimmy's been around a long time.
Is Paul around there? I'm just kidding.
No.
I see there was an invitation for another night at Johnnie's tomorrow.
That's going to fall through, by the way.
That's canceled.
Yeah, is it? Fall through. Which is a shame. I was thinking about going, but I think it's going to be like aggressively hot tomorrow, so I don't think I want to go nowhere.
Even Armando threw Jimmy's in there. He knows. He's been around. There's some funny stuff with Armando and I, considering how close we lived by each other, and then I'll throw it out there. So I forget where this was on. Even was it? I don't even remember. Were we on 4 Stars or I don't even know. So all of a sudden, Armando brings up Cronin Lincoln Mercury, which was a car dealership in Chicago. And he worked there, and it turns out my father was a Mercury man, so we bought all our cars from that dealership that he worked at. I mean, just small world stuff. For 2 decades, we probably bought 5 cars from them, and I went to school with them. So he knew them from working from them, but my family went to school with the Cronins. And they were good people, man. And my dad always said that they were fair when it came to buying a car. And, you know, back in the day, $2 or $3 grand, you got a brand new car. That was freaking awesome. Not today. I don't know why I brought that up, but it's because Armando's in the chat over there.
We talked about it, Foster. I'm never buying a new car.
No, not today. Forget it. Aha, Buka's saying Gina Jude's is overrated. Jimmy's all day. And I get that with the hot dogs, but Gina Jude's back 45 years ago. The key was the French fries. They're so busy they can't make them the right way anymore, and that's one of the downfalls of them. But their dog, the Gina Jude's hot dog, is a custom-made hot dog that you can only get at Gina Jude's because it's Gina Jude's secret recipe that they gave Vienna the rights to make it. Every other Vienna dog is not that same dog as Gina Jude. And it just depends on what you like, because Gina Jude's dogs snap.
I was going to say, I feel like PJ shares the sentiment. I mean, PJ, are you going out somewhere to buy a hot dog?
Yes.
Okay.
But
I'll save myself the embarrassment.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, I'm not a big hot dog eater, but I think I talked about this before, and this is going kind of sideways, but Sam's Club, they have to me, the best hot dog. Now you got to go home and do your own fixings to it.
Yeah,
sure. But, are you going to say value-wise? Is that a consideration here?
No, I'm talking about
isn't that thing
taste-wise.
Huge? Okay,
yeah, it's huge and taste-wise. I mean, to me, it's a beef hot dog.
Yeah.
So it's a beef hot dog, and it's meaty, but it's a good hot dog. That's why I'm like, if you add all of the fixings on it, I can imagine that thing would be a top seller.
PJ, why do we have to tell anyone what we're selling? Let's just buy all those dogs and then sell them with our fixings.
You'll make a profit. I guarantee it. I guarantee you'll make a profit.
What are you doing?
I have had those. I've had those hot dogs, PJ, on vacation because it's a good deal. And when you gotta feed 15 kids hot dogs, it ain't cheap.
And one hot dog will feed the kids.
Especially if you want good hot dogs and not the crappy ones made with chicken, pork, and all the other stuff.
I'm just saying. I mean, because you can get a hot dog and a drink.
Buka.
You can get a dog and a drink for $1.50 at Sam's.
Should we grok it? Buka, do you want to grok it? We can grok why it's called a glizzy.
Do it.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
I myself, and Jay Grizz, I get it. If it's not Vienna, I don't want it. Sorry, fellas. This is his comment. But Grizz. So next time you go to the store, and when you're paying $9 for a package of Viennas, look around and see if you can find either a Hebrew National, Nathan's out of New York, because they're a copycat of Vienna, Kosher's Best. And there's one more that I can't remember the name of it.
What the fuck?
Just go to Sam's and get their hot dog.
I got right now in my refrigerator. I just bought all the fixings to make Nathan's because they're really close to Vienna.
This is insanity.
Just read it.
So this is for King Buka. The term glizzy for a hot dog originated in the Washington, D.C. area, evolving from its earlier use in hip-hop culture as a slang for a Glock handgun. The transition to meaning hot dog likely stems from the visual similarity between a hot dog and the extended magazine of a pistol, both being elongated and cylindrical. Okay. Okay.
Read the
By
rest.
Shy Glizzy.
Now Glizzy and his group, Glizzy Gang, one of the earliest documented uses of glizzy for hot dogs was in 2016 YouTube video by DC creator Azel Prather, who described different types of hot dogs as glizzy.
King Buka says, that's even dumber than what I thought.
Buka, Buka.
That was awesome. That was awesome. That was worth it.
Buka's the man.
That was worth it. Only 8 votes for our current poll regarding what the best Chicago hot dog joint is. I feel like there's a lot of people who maybe wanted some other options that are just simply not here, but I voted Portillo's because I don't have any experience with the other 3.
For a true all beef, though, and Armando's saying that's all my family buys is Nathan's hot dogs from Sam's Club. That's pretty much what I've been getting lately because it's been the best deal. Nathan's.
Who's that guy who's the champion hot dog eater? Joey Chestnut?
No, I thought it was that Asian dude.
Maybe, but it's Joey Chestnut, I'm pretty sure, is the guy who he started to have some public relations with vegan establishments. And everyone's like, oh, he's done with hot dogs, Nope, he's back. And he said, I've only ever done public shit with Nathan's. So
that sounds bad right there, but I'm laughing at Buka because he's like, I'll stick to hot dog because something about saying I want to eat a glizzy just don't sit right with my soul.
Facts. Now, me being from downstate Illinois, I have never had a Chicago hot dog.
I hear you.
It's pretty basic, man. Chicago, the original Chicago style hot dog, and I think I don't remember when. Go back and look when Vienna started because it's right before that. Is a dog on a sesame seed bun, and the bun's grilled, and the dog's steamed, and it's only mustard, green relish, chopped onions, and sport peppers, and what's the celery salt. That's the original Chicago style dog. I'll be making 8 of those tomorrow. So I literally went out and bought the green relish and the celery salt and everything the other night because they had the Nathan's on sales. Oh yeah, Armando Demon Dogs. And then
I was gonna say I've seen a lot of red tomatoes on those Chicago dogs.
That's not the original Chicago dog. That's not.
Foster, you would know a lot more better than me. So
here, Gina Jude's, and that's been brought up. They're overrated. Their dogs are great. The problem is their fries are not. They go through too many of them. And I'll tell you this, guys. Every day I got up and I was a milkman, and then after my full-time job, I would go make 300 to 500 pounds of French fries, 100 pounds of Italian beef, and serve 200 to 500 hot dogs every single day in 5 hours. I did this. That was my part-time gig, man. And you go back, Gina Jude's has been selling their dogs, and if you go there, it's in Franklin Park, right on the Melrose Park water. If you go there, this place is worth millions. I mean, it's a gold mine. And the only thing they've ever sold is their hot dogs, French fries, tamales, and drinks. Nothing else. There is no ketchup in the house, not even packets. You cannot get ketchup there. And they've never put anything since 1946. They've never put anything more on their hot dogs than mustard, onions, relish. It's got to be a Mary's sesame seed bun, and it's got to be the green relish and celery salt. That's it.
Now, when I was
doing it 75 years the same way, and they make millions of dollars every year just selling hot dogs.
When I was a kid, we had a place here called Velvet Freeze. It has since went out of business, and they sold a good hot dog. It was they had meat sauce on there, onion, relish, mustard. You can get cheese on there if you wanted to. And it was so popular that now, since the owners, passed away, moved on, they took that recipe and people have taken that recipe and branched off and have place is called now the Wonder Dog down here that has that same recipe for that meat sauce. It's that was a good hot dog. Now again, like I said, I've never had a Chicago dog, so I can't compare. But for what that was, the only thing that was the worst part about that hot dog was the actual hot dog itself, because that meat sauce, the onion, the relish, that was all good. It's just that little bit of little bit of hot dog.
This would be a good hot dog.
PJ just can't finish.
You know what? This would be a really good hot dog if the hot dog was any good.
Right.
Gene and Jude's is so bad. Like, okay, so if I was going to see my dad and he lived almost in Cincinnati, Ohio, so I'd have to call him, long distance call back in the day with the rotary phone, dialing. Hey, Dad, I'm about to leave. Okay, don't forget to get me 10 Gene and Jude's hot dogs and a sack of 20 White Castles, because they didn't have either of them there. Matter of fact, they don't even know what Chicago-style food is down there where he lived. So I would put that stuff in a cooler and carry it there, and he'd take it all apart, heat up the dog and steam the bun, and then put the relish and everything back on it. It eat like 5 of them when I got there, man.
Now, Relentless Mikey brings up a point. Have I ever had a horseshoe? What is a horseshoe, Foster?
Horseshoe? Where is it? I don't know. I can't remember. What's a horseshoe?
It's not Mike? Candy, right?
No, I think it was. I thought it was like a sloppy Joe and some fries put together. I thought, maybe I'm wrong.
Onions.
A horseshoe sandwich?
Yeah.
Champaign, Southern Illinois thing. I'm surprised I don't know it. I'm down there. I'll be going down to.
It typically
going down to Matt Toons shortly. Relentless.
It's an open-faced sandwich. It consists of a thick sliced toast, a meat like a hamburger patty, a pile of French fries, and a cheese sauce.
Okay.
Often covering the entire creation.
Okay,
Sounds good.
I've had it.
Yeah. Okay. I thought there was something similar to that. Yeah. I could have had it, but it's not something that I had a lot of. I mean, probably when I was out to lunch with my coworkers or something, I probably had it at some restaurant at some point.
Jay Grizz is bringing this up, and I don't know if you guys have had this. This is another good treat, man, but you eat too many of these things and you'll die. Deep fried Polish sausage.
You can't say I've ever had that, but that sounds
usually
delightful.
Usually have it on the same setup as the Chicago style dog. At least I do, with the poppy seed bun and the onions and the relish and the mustard only. But it's usually a Vienna Polish sausage, deep fried, like French fries, and then you dry the grease off and you make it just like the hot dog. They're fantastic, man, but not the healthiest thing in the world for you either, man.
Now, a good brat, that's good too, though. A good brat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A good brat.
Matter of fact, brats, I've got this thing. I don't know. This started about 3 years ago, man, because I would make spaghetti and use a meat sauce, and some ground chuck or something. So one day I didn't have any, and I'm making spaghetti, and I'm like, man, I got 4 brats still left over from the package I made on the grill the other night, and I chopped them suckers up. Walt, hope you're good, Walt. Chopped them suckers up and threw them in the spaghetti. I've made that like 4 times now since I did it the first time, because it's just so good. And then I got to put grilled brats and grilled onions in my spaghetti now. Chop them all up and put them in the spaghetti because it is so good to me. Serious, man.
And I'm gonna give a shout out to Walt real quick. I watched a couple of his videos the other day. The Bear Review, for you guys wanting some Bears content. Check out Walt, the Bear Review. Good videos, man. Short, sweet, to the point.
Precise, very informative, and I'll give you guys nobody knows this till right now. Walt and I are going to do a thing or two on the side coming up in the near future. So we got something in the works. Bear related, of course. Because
we're at Foster over on the Bear Review?
On the Bear Review.
Yeah. Yeah, he always gives good content. I love his content. And unlike us, where we can go for 3 hours or so, his videos about 10 to 15 minutes
Yeah.
and to the point, man. So very, very, very informative.
It's informative, man. It's informative. I got to catch up on it. I caught a couple of those P's, but I haven't. I know there's 3 or 4 I missed, and I'd like to see them all because 2 reasons. Walt's a great Bears fan. He knows the Bears. He's precise, and he sticks to his points, and he backs them up with facts. So I don't always do that. Sometimes I'm just a Bear idiot. Now I'm thinking about freaking hot dogs, man.
I'm just a fan with an opinion. That's all I am.
Freaking yesterday, Sean from
4-star?
No, was on our show. Sean Sierra, the altar back. So we were talking on his show yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday. Because we started talking food on there somehow. And before I know it, because he's like, oh, don't forget to get honey on your biscuits and get me a 2-piece. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I'm going to Popeyes at 11:30 for lunch because of him.
Yeah, when Dan was sending me Taco Bell pictures at fucking 1 a.m. back-to-back nights, I was like, I've had enough, and I had to go myself after work the other day, so that's how it goes.
He might have had a couple beers in him.
I mean, that's what he said. He said that the line at Taco Bell one particular night was so bad because of all the drunk drivers. I said, okay, you got to be safe, man. Jeez.
Sure, he's in there with this truck playing bumper cars again.
I mean, it was close to it. If we didn't leave last week, that could have happened. No,
did you read that, Karl?
The short of what? With Foster and Mr. Sanborn? Or what are we talking about, Walt? I'm not even sure.
The one you just did that I didn't even know about till I saw it the other day.
What?
The offensive line depth.
Yeah, Foster's idea. Yep, absolutely.
I just said it. He's the one who put all this stuff together. I was like, man, don't put that out there for people to see because I said it. But Karl does it anyways. That's quite all right. I don't care, man. Don't care.
The TikTok did some good numbers, by the way, Foster. Got about 2,000.
All right.
Actually, it did better on YouTube than it did on TikTok.
I got a personal question for you guys now.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
You guys' first impression after actually seeing each other for the first time. As far as, man, he looks in person like he looks on the video. How was it?
I mean, I don't think anyone expected me to be as tall as I was, but outside of that, I told Shorty this. I said Foster was really the only one who really was like the same exact thing.
That's because I looked like this for 40 years. Close.
What?
I'm gonna tell you guys that, like, so if I can find the pictures from like 2005, 2006, because people are like, you fucking haven't changed a bit. I said, what? I've looked old and decrepit for the last 20 plus years. This is how I looked 20 years ago. I'm serious. I got pictures. I got to find them somewhere. I will get a couple of these pictures and show you me from like 2003, 4, 5, and 6. And you're going to say, oh my God, did you take that yesterday? And then you'll say, oh, well, no, you couldn't have because there's a lot more wrinkles and shit. I'm missing more hair. But the face and the beard, it's the same crap. So, Peach, Karl was taller, and like your beard and your stuff looks lighter in person than it does on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, that threw me off. Here's a funny one, guys. So, Karl's on the phone with Shorty, and I see him because I asked him what kind of car you drive, and I could pick out anybody's car from like 6 blocks away. And I haven't seen one of those vehicles, Karl, in like 5 years running around like you got.
Sure.
So I see him, and he's making a left into the parking lot on the one side of Johnnie's, and I'm like, I'm waving and pointing at him. I'm like, no, go up here and turn. So he doesn't see me, and he turns it, and he goes back and parks in a spot that's made for an apartment building, and a guy pulls up right behind him,
Those are for the apartment buildings?
Yeah. And the guy pulls up right behind him.
Bro, it was bad. I almost got into a fight, PJ. It was bad. I got into the spot. I pulled in, and then this guy pulls up behind me and locks me in the spot and slams on his horn.
Right. So I'm standing.
It was bad.
I'm standing 15 feet away, and I'm yelling, Karl, and I'm standing in an open. Karl, I'm standing in an open spot that's like 10 feet from where we were standing, yelling your name, and you never heard it. I don't know what
you
happened.
guys could have all locked arms and done the tree hugging for the parking spot for me, but
No,
Dan's like, oh, somebody took this spot, so I was like, well, fuck, I gotta find a spot. So I saw an open spot. I pulled into it.
They want their beefs in Italian ice, they'll run you over. They don't care. Just say it.
Oh, that's not what was going to happen to me.
So
I haven't had someone pull up behind me and lock me in my spot and then slam on the horn and lock eyes with me through my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
It was aggressive, man.
So who was it?
Some freaking rando.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So he's mad at you because you parked there, or
I took a spot. It was bad. I
I
think he did have his blinker on. Like he was ready to take it, and I snaked it. It was bad. But then I gave it back to him.
I was trying to get the phone from Dan because that would have solved the whole thing, but he wouldn't give it up. Because I saw you the whole time. I'm like, dude, I got him. Give me the phone. No, and this is Shorty.
It was bad.
Shut up, Foster. I'm on the phone. No shit, I'm right here.
The way Karl has his camera set up, he has a camera looking down on him, so it makes him appear like he's short. So if you was to see him, I guess, in person, then you see how tall he is. It contradicts it. Like, oh, well, I thought you were short face apart.
I told the boys that I'm 5'12" because of my poor posture.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then here's another thing. So I don't recall ever seeing him with his hat off, so I didn't know what the hair looked like. And he's got more hair.
that was the running joke. I bought this hat and I brought it with because it was brand new. I got it the day that I left. I was like, should I bring this with and wear it? But I don't know. I just didn't want to do
it. It was fun, man. We had fun. We did.
Good,
we had fun.
Good.
That way, should I tell them about the bar week? So Paul picks out a bar, and I'm like, we go to this bar, and I'm like, dude, I've been coming in this bar for 4 years, man. I used to cheat on my wife with women in this bar. It was like 10 blocks from my old apartment before I got this house.
Oh my god!
I'm talking to the bartender and everything, and she's going, "Oh yeah, you must have been here when it was white. It was pretty messed up then." And I'm going, "Yeah." And she goes, "There's a whole book on this bar," and I'm going, "Oh god, I hope I'm not in it," because that used to be a pretty crazy bar, dude. But I was just dying because I'm like, of all the freaking, there's 700 bars around us. And Paul's got to pick the one that I know and I went to for 20 years. What are the odds?
Man.
So it was fun. It was fun. Shorty made a new friend. Shorty made a new friend with a bricklayer. They got.
I didn't even know he was a bricklayer. Like, that was just so random.
Well, because he was sitting there, and Shorty goes, "Oh, are we bothering you?" And the guy really wasn't looking like we were bothering him. I don't know. Shorty must have had like on his third beer going, "Oh, are we bothering you?" And the guy's like, "No, man, I'm watching the freaking game." Then we started talking to him. And we're walking out. And Paulie had already left, and Karl and Shorty walk out the door. They walk out the door. I can't remember the guy's name, but I go to him, "Hey, man, it was nice to meet you, and if you're unlucky, you'll see me again." And he starts cracking up, and I hear Karl and Shorty as they're outside laughing their asses off. Because you guys heard it too, right?
Foster doesn't cut any corners. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the shit you get here is what you get in real life. So for him to say to a random stranger, like, if you're unlucky, you'll see me again, that was so on brand.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I told the guy on the side, you shouldn't believe everything you think.
I helped you fix that one. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. That's what it is.
That was my dad's line.
Yeah.
Yep. That was my dad's line.
Yes, sir. Foster checks out. Relentless Mikey, spot on, man. Absolutely.
I am. Absolutely. I'm Popeye, dude. I am's what I am's.
Yep.
Man, cool.
Now, PJ, how tall are you, if you don't mind me asking?
6 feet.
Yeah. I have a feeling that you're a proper 6 feet as well. Like, Dan kept telling me, oh, I'm going to be taller than you think, taller than you think. He was about as tall as I would have expected.
Yeah. But you're 6 feet too, right?
5'12". Is Shorty taller than you, PJ?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we might be the same height, but I doubt it. I have a feeling you're a proper 6 foot.
So you're not?
I think I went to the doctor one time and I got measured in at like 5'11", but I call bullshit on that. I don't know. It is what it is.
Hey, you know what I say? Once you got shoes on, you're 6 feet, bro. So 6 feet.
Exactly.
So every time I see Buka in any chat, this is what he puts. Hey, effing Foster. Effing, real first name Foster. Trying to say fucking, real first name Foster. Buka.
Big
Buka.
Yeah, I'm the same in person, Peach. So just be careful.
You know what? I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt that you will be the same person. I truly have no doubt about that. I get the impression, because I haven't met Karl or either of you in person yet, that Karl's more quiet in person.
Absolutely.
Until he's comfortable.
Yeah.
Because once he got comfortable with us, Karl was Karl.
That's a fair assessment.
I love his laugh because it sounds a little different in person, man. Not much, but I mean it's and then he's just, I don't know. You were laughing a lot that night, Karl. I love that. I love it.
It was a good time. It's funny, absolutely.
We were all sitting there laughing for a few hours at that bar. That was cool.
Good. So he had you at hello?
No, maybe like 2 words later. I might have taken him home and slept with him, but his girlfriend wouldn't like that.
Hey, I gotta go.
I didn't say we were going to do anything, dude.
Exit stage left.
I thought about it afterwards. I'm going, because Dan forgot to text me for 15 hours. Because I'm like, Dan, make sure you text me when you get home. So 2, 3 in the afternoon, he went, oh yeah, sorry. He was up all night talking to his mom. I'm like, don't care as long as you're, because I was like, he had 4 drinks, and I'm like, man, all it takes is one of those Illinois cops that pull you over, and if they smell it, you know what I'm talking about. I was like, oh man, I should just had him come and sleep here. I could have thrown. I got 2 beds extra. I got 2 beds right here. But everybody lived. It was good.
Proof.
John Cola. Armando, I got to see a face, man. Armando just asked me if I know a person. I know too many people.
John K.
I can't. A lot of times I forget the names, but when I see a face, I'm like, oh yeah, I drank with that dude. Where's Vito and Nick's, Mikey? Is that down south? Relentless Mikey says, I'm a Vito and Nick's guy for pizza. What's up, Paul?
Oh no, Paul's here. Oh no.
Paulski, did you just come in here? So you missed, because we just talked about our the excursion with all of us at the bar and the Johnny Speaks.
Foster, it appears that Vito and Nick's is on Pulaski.
Okay.
79th and Pulaski.
That's why I remember it, because I used to work down there.
84th, 85th.
Back in 1988 to 91, I was working at 79th. And I can't remember that street, but it's not too far from Pulaski. I probably had it. I'm almost positive I had, because I'm looking at the name. I'm going, there's so many names it mixed me up for a minute, because I'm used to Nick and Bruno's, George and Gino's, Pete's, Dino's.
Oh, Melon Smasher's ready for a night out on the town with us, it sounds like.
It's coming. We got to do it again, man. I've been trying to set something up for a couple of years. The crowd. Man. I want to do a get together for anybody who can, and I was thinking of doing one north side, one western suburbs, because that's easy for me to do, and I know I got friends that'll just let me use.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are gonna have to hold my hand or something. I might need some extra protection if we go to these special places you're talking about.
You don't carry rubbers in your wallet?
Yeah, that's the protection I need, Paul. Need some rubbers.
Don't worry, Karl. I'll bring my shotgun. It's not registered or anything. I'll bring it.
That's
We'll
one
have
thing
a condom on it.
I never see the new wallets that's being advertised. The spot for their rubbers. You can hold your money here. You can hold your credit cards here. You can hold. Okay, what about the part for the rubber?
Congratulations, Book. I got 17, my brother. 17. Love to hear it. Love to hear it, man. I just go have fun. I just
Congratulations.
Go have fun. I didn't have a drink with you guys. I had. What did I have?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
think I had one.
I don't know if this is the correct term. It wouldn't be mutually exclusive. Like you could hang out with us and continue to be sober. Totally fine. That's exactly what Foster did. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't drink either, King Booga. So
awesome.
If I was to come, I would be drinking.
Buka, are you a friend of Bill? Just asking.
Who's Bill?
I can't reveal that, man. It's an anonymity thing.
Okay.
Dollar.
Nope. Bill W. Not everybody is, but it's just the guy, the founder of AA. Bill W. Because we don't use people's last names. So I mean,
W or W?
W.
Oh, not W. Okay.
Like a W. W. I'll W.
Big Bearski Film pumping out the AI content.
Yeah,
Bravo to you, sir.
I have caught most of those, Paulie. I think you can see.
The best is if Paul, if you've already uploaded that content and you're just, pumping it out. That's what we're talking about, man.
Cool.
No, it looks like this is brand new stuff, though.
Buka. He goes, nah, never went to a meeting because I was too drunk to make it. I had a T-shirt that says, I'm just a drunk because alcoholics go to meetings. I had a T-shirt that said that. I used to wear it to the bars, man. Or I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just a drunk because alcoholics go to meetings. It was too long to remember. I can't remember it.
I get it. You're referring to an AA meeting.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I started. I'm still active in the community because those guys saved my life. So you know, something like that. I got to give back to keep it. Not as active as I once was, but I'm still involved in it because it's an illness, man. People need help, and I had people to help me, so I have no problem helping people recovering from addiction because it's such a terrible disease. It kills an American every 11 minutes.
And that's the correct term. I feel like sometimes it's almost a bit taboo to call it a disease. Like, that's what it is. So, Foster, bravo to you.
Dude, it runs my in the last 100 and until my father made it past 58. I think in 118 years, no male in my family lived that long. They all died of alcohol or drugs. My grandfather, an uncle, cousins. So,
wow.
I'm not calling anybody's anonymity out but my own. And Buka announced his thing, so it's all good, man. As long as we're still here to talk about it and help others. Jay Grizz lives me. I'm joking, dude.
Yeah, Bearski, whatever you're referring to, it's just slipped me my mind, man. I have no idea. Was it something we said during the show yesterday? I don't remember.
Grizz, I could go for a pizza puff now. Damn it.
Do you know, Foster, I had a coworker at my first job at Jewel Osco. We were working the self-check, and it was dead as fuck. And he's like, hey, you want a pizza puff? I was like, what are you talking about? He was able to use the phone, so he was able to call the deli, whatever it was. Have them make the pizza puffs right there at Jewel on the job. Incredible stuff.
Oh, awesome, Razzle. That's. I read this and I'm like, good for you, man. Razzle Dazzle is also recovering.
Good for you, Razzle Dazzle.
And Grizz is correct because AA is not what it was, man. If you have a substance abuse problem, you got any problem, man. There's hotlines you can call through AA and they will guide you to the right place that's going to help you. So whether it's mental,
nothing at all.
What did you say, Peach?
There's nothing wrong with asking for help.
PJ
Absolutely.
Right.
Everybody needs to ask for help at least once or twice in their life. I ask for help every damn day because I'm insane.
What?
But seriously, I just want to say, man, if you've got a problem, whether it's a sex addiction, alcohol, drugs, gambling, mental health issues, reach out and get help because there is help available. And I tell you, I kid you not when I say this, there was about 7 people that if they didn't get involved with me when I was at my worst, and they were good enough to love and care about me when I was at my worst, that I'm here today at my best because of them. So, you know, if you know anybody, man, reach out. It's hard for people to accept the problems that they have. I know it was difficult for me. It literally took me, let's see, I knew I had a problem at 15 and I didn't get help till I was 42 years old. And that was pretty bad, man. That was a long time of, you know, it was fun in the beginning, but it became really not fun at all, man. Everything was miserable, everything. And then all the people I heard around me, and I'm not sorry about that, Book. I want to just make sure that we get this straight. I wasn't an alcoholic, just thirsty, and also wasn't addicted, just like the way to yayo smelled. I could smell
yayo.
that. I can smell that on the west side on a warm night, Buka, to this day.
So King Buka unironically uses the term yayo, but then criticizes the term glizzy.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Oh, he's got to feel comfortable with the terms, and he just doesn't.
I'm just giving him a hard time.
Absolutely, man. He's awesome. He's awesome.
Yayo.
Everybody in this chat is, man.
Yayo Odengbo.
Deep fried golden bliss. I thought he said,
man.
Is he talking about your mustache, Foster?
Hey, Mike.
What's deep fried golden bliss?
I got drive. He's talking about pizza puffs. Talking about pizza puffs.
Well, I thought he was talking about your mustache.
Hey, Mikey, I know the place. I know the place you're talking about in the Heights, because there's a AA club down there that I used to speak at frequently. And on a Saturday morning after lunch, we'd all run over there and grab a pizza puff or a taco, but usually the pizza puff, man. I ain't been down there in probably 8 or 10 years. I got to get back to that area.
Man. Cool.
What else we got, gentlemen?
Only thing I got left in my bag of tricks is the one big announcement, but I kind of want to save it for the end. It's not a Karl specific thing either. It's for the channel. It's for the community.
It's for the community. It's for everybody in the chat.
Well, now is a good time to bring it up.
Hey, I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can present this in the best possible way. How can I do this?
Drum roll, please.
I got to get down to the Heights. I'm not.
Is that an oxymoron? Down to the Heights?
Well, it's South Side. Chicago Heights. I'm on the west. I'm on the northwest side, man.
West side. Unbelievable.
West side is the best side.
Steve Rogers said, "There's no better time than now, Karl."
The time is now. Okay, gentlemen.
Steve Rogers said.
So, where is the home of Bears Country Productions, the Bears Country podcast currently?
Well, according to our first video or our first opening, that question was asked.
No, I meant the content. If you want to hang out with us and enjoy our content, where do you go? It's where you're at right now.
Right.
You go to YouTube.
YouTube.
So, what if there was a website for the Bears Country podcast?
Ooh. You mean something like that?
You mean a website? Does this deserve a full screen layout? Gentlemen, there is a website that you can now access that is going to become all things homes of the Bears Country Podcast. BearsCountryPodcast.com. It's in a very raw stage, right? Right now we're just taking a look, showing all of you the channel as far as the shows, the content available through YouTube. But there's going to end up being more. There's an inquiry section right here where you can leave your name, your email, your text. The idea, again, the mission statement, the Chicago Bears channel made by a fan for the fans. We want you to join us and talk Bears with us. So it's already very obvious for you guys to be able to join us. You can always send us an email. The email address is in the description of every single video. But if you'd be so inclined to send us an inquiry, absolutely, by all means. It's got our sponsors currently lower down on the totem pole. Paul, check out some of our favorite Bears content creators. And please don't take this as any slight if you're watching us. 4-star, we need to get your logo sorted out, things like that. Uh-oh, the man of the hour. The man of the hour is in.
Good night, everybody. Bears.
The idea, though, is still in the very early developmental stages, in my opinion. So my idea, and something that I tried to explain with Shorty, is we want to have essentially an open forum. So I know we've talked in the past of the chat kind of contributing to the channel somehow, some way. We want to get it to the point where you guys can provide us with an article. Your feelings on something, your thoughts on something. If you want it in written format and you want to broadcast this to the community and you don't have a comment section to do it because we just don't happen to be live at that moment, we're going to work on that. So, again, website in its brand new infancy stage, but it's hopefully going to be something that only continues to grow. So, I digress. Paul, good night, man.
Get some rest, man.
That's pretty nice, man. What you guys putting together there? That's nice.
I'll have to let Shorty divulge the details on that. I helped with one singular section. I don't want to take any credit for that website whatsoever. But I do want to take credit for trying to help.
Make my good side.
I am.
Well, PJ,
so Karl.
If you met us at
Jonathan's
Beef, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we could have had a all-together picture. But just saying.
Hey, Photoshop me in.
Yeah. We never did a video or anything. We were having too much fun. I think I got a couple pictures.
And Foster, I was thinking that to myself. I'm like, you know what? We were just so in the moment.
Yeah.
So that's what made it special, in my opinion.
It was. I mean, sometimes you try to do stuff like that, and it's just because it's time. You can replace everything else on this earth, man. You can replace money, you can replace objects, but time is one thing you can never make more of. You can make more money, you can make more friends, you can make a kitchen cabinet or whatever you need. It can all be replaced, but you can't make more time. We only get so much. Mikey.
Thank you, Relentless Mikey, for the super chat. Am I correct? Of $1.99? Is that what he has?
Yeah, it's not affiliated with his membership. So, Mikey, thank you so much, man. You were one of the holdovers from Mr. Adam
Mikey
Mason.
Says, congrats, gents. Well done.
Thank you.
I forgot. You know what? I forgot to do it this week, and we're going to do it next week. I promise you. We're going to give away 5 more subscriptions to our members only channel. Because we didn't make a show tonight because things were just messed up with every day. PJ was running late. I was sleeping for like 4 hours.
Yeah, you guys should have heard Foster open up the StreamYard.
Is anybody going to answer me? Are we even doing a show tonight? Nobody even answered the guy till like 5 to 7. At least I didn't.
But Foster comes into StreamYard and all of a sudden you just hear, "Oh my God, I just woke up." It was the most authentic Foster thing you've ever heard. It was so funny.
Well, I was just taking a nap, man, and it turned into too long.
But like you can tell he had just woken up. He's like, holy fuck, I overslept. It was crazy.
I couldn't believe it was like almost 8 o'clock. I took a nap at like 4. I'm like, all right, I just need an hour because all this paperwork, I'm doing all this freaking paperwork still for that stupid house that I sold 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. Holy shit. I had the camera off because I'm like, I got to get dressed. I got to go to the bathroom. I need dinner. Carl's just laughing. He's just laughing, listening to me and laughing.
You could tell he was scrambling. It was awesome.
It was not funny, but I guess it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
King Buka, if I could talk on that for just a second. I mean, that's probably one of the main reasons why I even do this. I could sit in my bubble and make my own content. And
for our audio listeners, Carl, why don't you read it and then address it, please?
Sorry about that. King Buka says, shows like this, BCP, Nomad, Sean, I don't know what CBC is, make being a Bears fan mean even more. I found my people, a community. I dig it. So yeah, the community aspect is why I think I'm still doing this, is because you could sit in your own bubble, do your own stuff, and it's cool, it's fun, the numbers are nice in the moment, but at the end of the day, it's just hanging out, and it's the relationships, right? I think that's a lot more valuable than just the numbers. So
100%.
And you dig it. Yes, I knew that you could.
Yeah, I mean, to speak on, to add to that, I think, that's a beautiful thing here. I mean, just now, listen to Foster share, the meetings and the things he experienced. That's, that means something. That means something. And we don't necessarily deliver things in the proper format or the right way. But one thing you can say about us that's truly true: we are authentic. What you see is what you get. That's who we are. We're not pretending to be someone we're not. We just who we are. And like us, love us, hate us, that's just who we are. And I'm glad for those of you who do come here every week, join us and partake in this laughter that we have, because it's, again, Bear fans hanging out, talking football, talking food, talking a little bit of everything.
Concerts.
A little bit of everything. And that's, that's what this channel is about. And I'm glad to be a part of it. And even through life challenges and changes, we still find a way to make it here Thursday nights. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the team that I work with.
Right back at you, PJ. Right back at you. I'm trying to find that comment from Razzle Dazzle earlier.
Too. He goes, especially when our team is not doing so well, and we've been here the last 3 years. So we're up with that one. Go ahead, Karl. Sorry, man.
No, you're totally good. I was just trying to find Razzle Dazzle's comment right here. He says, why these guys don't answer chat's question. And this was a long time ago before I think Razzle figured out what we're all about. I mean, I was just taken aback by it. I was like, there's like 30 people in here right now that I talk to essentially every single week. What are you talking about? We don't answer your questions. So that just rubbed me the wrong way in the moment. But hopefully you understand now. Like, it's a little bit bigger than that. In my opinion.
We try to do our best, man, and we get what we can get in. And you know what? And PJ says this every week, man. It's like we try to get to everybody, but it's gotten harder because there's been more and more of you guys, and we love that. When we first started doing this, it was pretty easy because it was 10 or 12 people, and we could easily go through people's questions or get their ideas and thoughts out there. It's gotten harder. You know what's made it even easier, so that we've kind of gotten back to that better, is having Karl as our producer. Because when we were sitting on here and trying to do the chat and all this stuff ourselves, it was missing something. And when Karl came along, and Walt did the same thing too, it was easier to get more of the chat's questions and comments involved. Because it's really hard to do. I always bring up Aldo, man. You ever see him sit there and he's going, mm-hmm. Well, he's looking at the chat and getting the next thing set up. So he's missing stuff. And he'll even tell you that. He'll go, You know, sometimes it sucks because I'm a one-man show and I've got to do all this stuff, and then I miss part of the show, and I get it because I remember when it was just me, you, me, Peach, and Shorty, and I was trying to run the chat all the time. I'd say something and you guys would laugh at me because you guys just said it, but I missed it because I'm looking at the chat and trying to get questions marked. So I was missing part of the show myself, and I don't know. It's that's why the four of us are here.
Yeah.
It just works out the way it's supposed to, man. And thanks for stepping in and taking Shorty's spot tonight because he's been really terrible lately, Karl.
Okay.
I'm joking, Shorty.
Shout out to Alex is my name, as well as Joe Loco 5150. Guys joining in late, but man, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Jojo Loco had a banger. I don't know if that's the comment of the night, so to speak, but for the audio listeners, Jojo Loco 5150 says, "You're like the Bears. Success rate is low, but we can't get enough of y'all."
That's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
Armando's on fighting pain meds, trying to stay awake, watching you guys. That's okay, dude. You can doze off.
Talking about edibles?
I'm sure you need to rest, my friend. We'll be here next week, whether you like it or not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, somebody will. Somebody will show up. I don't know who, but somebody will.
For real.
We need to have some sort of how fun would it be, especially during the off season, to have like a swap of some sorts, right? Like imagine if Greg Gabriel, I don't know if that's too out of pocket. Gabriel and Aldo Gandia do a Thursday show, and we do Saturday morning show. I don't know. That would be so much fun. Just totally flip the script on the viewers.
I wonder if is Aldo on tonight? I haven't even paid attention because he was last week, and I don't think they were on last night. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I worked late last night, so
we got to have the BC get together, though. That's. I need a few more weeks here, man, and I'm gonna set one up this season. By preseason, I'm gonna set one up now.
The White Prison.
And wait, Peach, isn't it gone? They tore it down, dude.
I don't know.
It's gone because all my girlfriend. I mean,
Foster almost told off.
Say all my girlfriends were transferred to other prisons.
Oh my god.
Foster almost gave himself up.
Jojo's saying you guys need to bring some hot chicks on. We do. It's just not on film.
Foster, you still got that wig?
Which one?
Hey, yo, the one that goes on your head.
Yeah. We're gonna work on this soon here, Mikey. I got some things going on in my life that have been going on for way too long, and they literally I canceled everything for the rest of this week and just so I could get all this crap done with Foster with the almost self snitch. I was reading Bukas.
For real.
Not almost. I did it. I snitched all the way. That's a story for another time.
Plank just offered us a venue for the BCP meetup. Have to travel to Indiana though.
Shit. I drive anywhere, damn it.
3 acres. I don't know. I mean, from just having a very light pulse of the Twitch, or of the chat. Oh my god.
Which?
The Twitch chat. Jesus Lord. Johnny's beef feels to be right in the middle of everything. So I don't know.
Hey man.
I don't know.
I can make that.
Not
shit.
for PJ, of course, but
I can make that shit. We can do anything, dude. We'll get a grill.
Let's rent out Johnny's
People
beef.
can bring their own drinks and their own food, man. We'll get a couple of Weber kettles and we'll meet somewhere and do a barbecue. It's coming. I'm gonna be able to work on this soon, man.
So you're gonna smoke your meat and then feed your meat to other men. Got it, Foster. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I hope they.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I hope they love it, and if they don't, I hope they choke. Hope they choke on my meat. Good night, everybody. I gotta go ahead.
You're hoping somebody choke on your meat, huh?
Well, that's why I said good night, because I went too far there. Yeah, Mikey's got it. Pause.
It's
Yeah.
Oh.
Does that meat taste like marbles?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Good one, Alex.
Alex was only in here for 15 minutes.
Alex is my name. Says, does that meat taste like marbles? It used to when I was drinking.
Hit me up.
Man.
You like to stroke my pussy, darling?
I love this stuff because I love the stuff in the chat, man. I swear to God, we could do a show if we took the chat from every show and just went through that. That would be a whole nother show just with the stuff going on in the chat, dude. I say it all the time.
Is there an AI summary yet? I don't think there is. I need to figure out how to do that.
Wait, Pete, did you see what Jay Grizz said? That's what you're laughing at.
That's not very therapeutic.
Sorry, guys, but I can't consider that to be very therapeutic.
Well, you don't want to eat Foster's meat, Jay Grizz? What's wrong with
my Marlboro and flavor.
My Marlboro meat. Oh my god!
Only here do you get this type of content.
Right.
Only here.
You're not gonna. This stuff is not gonna be broadcast anywhere else. We can guarantee that.
For real.
For real.
2026 announcing CHSN sponsorship. No. I'm trying to set up Foster. I'm trying to give Foster his last chance.
All right, that's it. I'm gonna do it. Because I've had it. So these motherfuckers at CHSN, who last year when they left NBC, the NBC Comcast Sports crap, they sat there and went on. I'm gonna be shorty. I'm not fucking Scrody Fitz. They sat there and told them, it reminds me of like the movie with Bruce Willis. Yeah, go out and get an antenna. You can watch the Sox and you can watch the Blackhawks and the Bulls. Come on, it'll be fun. Go get an HD antenna. Spend 35, 40, 50 bucks to get that HD antenna. And then what do? Like 7-8 months later on a Saturday? Oh, by the way, as of Monday, this channel won't be here anymore. It's absolutely freaking a fucking game show. That pissed me off, man. There's like 500,000 people in Chicago that can't even watch the shit that they've been watching for months. What the hell just happened? Wow. That was my whole screen just blacked out. But I mean, it's just unfair. It's unfair because, again, the regular everyday working man can't even watch his local sports team unless he's got enough to pay the fucking $80 a month or whatever the hell it is. I know for the Cubs it's that much, but fuck them. I remember when the Hawks did this. When I was a little kid, the Hawks used to be on regular TV, and the old man Wirtz took them off, and you had to watch them. You had to pay on TV, and this is back in the 1970s. And they stayed like that. It stayed like that. Yeah, but you ought to be able to watch. When you live in Chicago, the Cubs were on WGN from 1948 until a few years ago. Sox were on 44 and 32. You could watch a Blackhawks game. The Bulls were on Channel 9. Now, the shit they got on Channel 9 is like, what do we got? We got rugby, we got WNBA, and they suck. That's another fucking nightmare what they're doing with Caitlin Clark and all this bullshit.
But
to just pull your local team off the air after you're telling everybody, yes, you can access the Sox and the Bulls and the Hawks with just an antenna. We're not going to charge you nothing anymore. There's no fees or nothing. It's back like it was, back like it should be. And then on a Saturday, just say, sorry, it's over because we got $1 billion from Comcast to put this shit on their show. Fuck you, CHSN. Fuck you. And Marquee Sports, fuck you too. There, I'm done. Motherfuckers.
Never mind.
Because I can't hear nothing.
No, that's wrong. No. I would like to, however, before we end the show, just get a temperature on the chat poll. It's going to be up very, very soon. It may or may not include you guys signing an NDA, but again, we don't have to talk about that publicly. I just want to take a temperature on that.
I'm back to listening to them on the radio, Sox and Cubs, because I'm a Chicago fan.
Batting 1,000 right now, boys. Batting 1,000 on that chat poll.
You know what? I missed them, man. I set my phone down. I don't know where the hell it's at, but I literally switched rooms and locations during the show. I don't know if anybody noticed.
Yeah, I was gonna say the background definitely changed, but I thought you just maybe like flipped your chair or something.
No. I'm back in the bathroom, as Creighton says.
Well, we're not going to have that bathroom conversation again.
Oh, you guys never answered my text.
Uh-oh.
That's gonna be the spawn of a new segment. It's gonna be more of like asking you guys your opinion on a topic, but I want the name of the segment to be Sit or Stand.
Man.
Are you sitting or are you standing on this, PJ? You know what I mean?
Should I stay or should I go now? Thanks.
Should I stand now?
You know how I stand on that topic. It's like...
You know how I stand on that topic. Well, I sit on that topic.
Man.
Walt just sent me some baby photos of mine. It's fucking hieroglyphics again. It's out of the Egyptian tombs, man.
Okay, I have a poll question. For those of you in the chat who are male, so Patty, Heidi, I'm not referring to you.
No shot you're gonna do this.
I'm gonna do it. How many of you have, let's say, more than twice sat down to urinate?
Twice what in your lifetime?
In your life. And I'm not talking about when you was a kid. I'm talking about as an adult male. How many of you have ever sat down
Look at this shit
to urinate? I'm curious. Because after the show last week, we had
Alex is the source of truth for this one, PJ. And I know you said you don't drink, but
yeah, that sucks in Paris.
I'll just say it. We had a conversation after the show last week. I'm not going to say what exactly was said, but the topic came up of a grown man sitting down to urinate. And I'm just curious, because somebody in that conversation admitted doing it. I'm not saying who, but I just want to know how many of you men out there have ever...
Walt. I was just going to bring this up because Walt says, Walt, the bear review. Depends. You might have to take a shit too, so why risk it?
Exactly. Like, it's a tool in your arsenal. It shouldn't be viewed as like this negative thing.
But what I'm saying is, with the explicit purpose of just urinating. Now, if you got a full stomach and you might have to do the other, that's something totally different. But I'm talking about with the
that doesn't fit in the 2 times.
Yes. I'm talking about the explicit purpose.
Why would you? Why would you choose to sit to do that when there's no added context?
I don't know.
That's why I'm asking.
Paige, I want to throw this little story in. When I was about 6, because I had finally learned to use the toilet before I was 10. So I just remember I was 5 or 6, and I go into my aunt's bathroom, and I sit down because I think I'm going to take a shit.
What the? It just totally disappeared. Was he talking? Oh my god! If Shorty was here, I'll play the role of Shorty. Oh my god! Foster just ranted about the Chicago media. Then his computer goes belly up. That damn internet.
Man.
That damn Chicago media won't let him in the StreamYard.
Wow, everything's frozen, man. I don't. Oh my God.
It's the ghost of Muggs Hellas.
What the hell? Wow. So I sit down and I look up, and my aunt, she's hilarious, man. She's still around. She's 92. She's got this thing on the wall right in front of the toilet. It says, "Here I sit, brokenhearted, came to shit, but only farted." I thought that was great. And I was going to tell you, when you were asking this question, it happened to me today, man. I thought I had to take a crap. And I sit down, and I sat down, and all I did was a big fart and peed. So I literally sat down and peed, nothing else. I wasn't planning it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's not the example I'm talking about. The example I'm saying is, once again, you have nothing to do but urinate, and you still choose to sit down.
Now, does your level of being tired matter at all?
That has no bearing. You can be dead tired and you still sitting down. That's different.
Buka said that CHSN
what do you mean that's
saw my
different?
rant and cut me off, man.
Like it's still a problem, is what you're trying to say.
What I'm saying is, whether you're tired or not, that has no bearing on whether or not you should sit down.
Armando.
Okay.
So my question is, because some bodies said that they would actually do that, and I'm like, I was trying to be made to feel as though I was wrong for never having done it.
Well, because we were talking about splashing, man.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Hey.
We know PJ don't splash because his dick is in the water when he pisses.
Now it's just full transparency.
All right, man. I was trying not to give too much information.
PJ's about to go out and say, I have to offset the water in my toilet so that it doesn't fill up high enough. I have to put a brick in my toilet so that my penis doesn't hit the water. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
I've done it because I've been in houses where I'm like, all right, this lady's a bitch. I want to make sure that I don't piss anywhere else, man. So I'm just going to sit down and take a piss. And I told you guys the same thing. A couple people, I walk in their house, I'm like, nope, not this one. And Jojo Local says, if I'm at home, why not? On the road, hell no. So,
yeah, I mean,
it really doesn't matter. It's
the poll that I put up, PJ, was simply: is it unacceptable to sit to pee as a man? Right now, no is at 67%.
It says it's not unacceptable.
Is it unacceptable?
Is it?
So the majority is saying that no, it is not unacceptable. It is
so
acceptable
they're okay
to
with
pee. Yeah, sitting to pee is fine. Yeah.
Now, see, the Cliff, I see what you're saying here. I mean, I agree. Unless it's medical, alcohol, that's different. But medical issues, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about voluntarily. Look, for whatever reason, I want to sit down to urinate. I ain't got no bubble guts. I don't have, my stomach's fine. I ain't got to go. I don't have no inclination of doing number two. I just want to sit down.
Look at even Patty's got an answer to this, but I like what Alex's my name all says. What if it's cold and the turtle's back is in its shell and you don't want to dribble everywhere?
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious.
That's why I like this chat. You come up with some good answers.
Cliff only does it when he can't stand after a night of drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in lockstep with Amphiarius. Like, if I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night to piss, there's no shot I'm gonna fucking. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm with Amphiarius. I don't know.
You're just gonna take a seat, huh?
Bro, like, have you ever had split stream? That's
after
a
sex,
problem. Yeah. That's a problem.
That tends to happen after sex, right?
Sure, yeah.
Whoa, what the hell?
You guys never see, what was that?
I got half. You had a movie?
Yeah, was that Liar Liar, or was no me myself and Irene?
Myself and Irene.
Yeah.
Wait, what is King Buka saying?
Half of it, I was having sex, obviously, and then I'm pissing one time, and half of it went in the toilet. The other half went right in the little garbage can next to it.
Yeah. Well, you got lucky.
Well, it was still. I still had to clean it all up. I wasn't going to leave it there.
Yeah. So are you gonna clean it up at fucking 3 a.m.? No.
If I'm at home, I ain't doing none of that. I'm somebody else's, man. I'm going to clean it up.
Relentless, like he says. Dude, yes, like, King Buka.
Like, good. You got any bleach? Because I just pissed on your floor.
I can't say I've ever asked someone that. So.
Whew.
Buka says just flush. Flush.
Only on BCP.
That's right.
You get great content.
I don't know about great, but it's content. It's different content. It's different content. That's for sure.
Won't get it nowhere else.
Yeah, I clicked on CHGO yesterday, and they were talking about pissing. Not.
Stop pissing, dog. Real Bears fan? That's
Chris
Foster. That's Chris Foster.
Hey, Chris. Hope you're well, man.
Tidy bowl.
All right, I'm done for the night. All right, I got my poll question out the way.
Are these guys up yet, man? Can we run that over there?
Oh,
they're not on, but I think their thing might be up.
We're talking about good old 4-star Chicago sports.
Yeah, I don't know if they were doing a damn countdown.
It's more of just like, is it publicly available?
It is. I'm on there now.
Yeah, scheduled.
Yep.
It's just the bare minimum. I'll see if I can configure it right now.
But
yeah, it's gonna let me.
Nice.
And glizzies.
Matter of fact, Mikey, I'm gonna use that because I know I'll be talking about food again to somebody, and I'm just gonna go, yeah, Italian beef, and we're having bratwurst and some French fries and glizzies. I did not have sitting to pee on my BCB Bing card. I didn't send it back yet. You never gave me.
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Oh, bingo card.
A BCP bingo card. We'd have to have the color palette as well to measure your mustache.
And Bingo was his name. Oh. All right, I think we're done. So
we'll end the show.
With that being said, guys, thank you for joining us, each and every one of you. Appreciate your input, appreciate your laughter, appreciate the good advice, Foster. Thank you, King Buka, for sharing your story. And Minister Charles, prayers and thoughts with you tomorrow morning as you have your eye surgery. And all of you, thank you guys for joining us. Had a good time as always. You guys rock. Back at you, Patty. Back at you.
I gotta just throw this. I gotta throw this last thing in, Teach. Cliff Victoria says, I just installed a total toilet in my master bath. You guys want to talk about some flushing power? 1.6 gallons coming in hard.
So what? Next week are we going to talk about bidets? Are bidets acceptable to use as a man?
Right after the food, man. We gotta come in right after the food.
Where we go full circle.
No, yes. Antharius, Patty Lara, King Buka World, Chris Foster, Walt, Steve Rogers. Oh my God. My whole screen is going black again here. I got it plugged in. I don't know what the hell, man. Alex is my name.
Days for days.
Help me out, Peach, because now I can't move my fucking.
Relentless Mikey, J2K, Romy. Trying to go off memory here. Mr. Mayhem.
Local.
Chad
Plank.
Speaker.
Chad Speaker,
Yeah.
Great Grizz.
Walt, the Bear Review's in here right now. Steve
Paul
Rogers, Chris Foster,
Armando Lara,
Triple R. He popped in.
Jojo Loco 5150. Trips was in the house. This thing ain't working. I gotta get.
So,
Yeah.
all you guys.
We always start with Bears until we're done, and then it
Yeah, we were
degrades,
talking
whatever the term is.
defense, offense, running back, wide receiver, linebacker position, defensive line.
I pointed out one transition that
out
Foster
the first
had.
25, 30 minutes, Chris, if you want to see the Bears stuff.
It might be 45. It might be
45
minutes.
Yeah. Because we did
45
hit a
minutes.
bunch of little things here and there, including Monangai in the running game. What was Karl's good one? The one guy that would change the Bears if there was somebody that we could lose that would just screw up the whole season.
Yeah, is the roster currently configured to where if there is a certain injury, would that ruin everything? Obviously excluding Caleb Williams, but
yeah.
We had some answers for that. If you guys are curious, go ahead and check it out. And like I said, I'm going to try and take on the website. I want to try and make that into something that is not only special for the channel, but for the viewers of the channel. So if you guys have any suggestions, I would say drop them in the comment section of this video, and hopefully by this time next week, I don't know if I can get to it that fast, would love to have some sort of message board, blog set up for you guys. So again, bearscountrypodcast.com.
Gonna have a special section on there of me cutting grass. Joking.
No,
Joking.
PJ. No, we're talking about this. There needs to be a food blog. Oh, look at this incredible meal I just have. Fucking take a picture of it and post it to the website. That would be amazing.
Cliff would be in there posting every day.
Yeah. It's exactly, I'm telling you, that could work. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I like that one.
Embed my X posts. Relentless Mikey, are you suggesting that my content on Twitter is worth viewing? I don't know about that, but I'll take your word for it.
Hey, there's a need for everything, man. Because whether that's what makes this country great is you got freedom of speech no matter what. There's man, say some of the stuff that you say, and go to some other countries and try and say it. You just disappear, dude. So
Foster's tiptoeing on that line right now, and we love that. But
I always
getting
tiptoe
close,
on the
Foster. We're
line. I
getting
wake
close.
up every day and do that crap.
Now just do it at Johnny's Beef next week, and we'll see what happens. No, next week is 4th of July, right?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But who's going to be there next week? Nobody's. It doesn't matter.
No.
Sure, I don't think Schroeder will be in town. I think he's got to go back.
Sorry, in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks from tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 20th, and the 27th, and then the 4th.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
Well, Chris Foster, don't pull that bullshit. Come on, man.
Come on, look what they did to Shorty.
What?
Keep talking, Karl. Tell him about it.
No, I'm just saying, like.
Oh, look, they cut him off, Chris.
Somebody end the show.
What, no super chats?
Ghost, any hit me up.
Now I'm done.
Thank you, Aldo. You have a good night, sir. Well, I guess we can do it. We do it on the Bears page. You count us off.
A 1, a 2, a 3. Bears.
I can't believe that we didn't say this one time tonight. Where did it go? There it is.
Shit, fuck Green Bay.
Giddy up, groove, stay. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. You down with BCP? Yeah, you know me. In Texas. sneak peek, let's blow. Switch the flow.